as though I have conquered death. I live death every day. I am surrounded by it, smothered by it. Look at you now. He who would have everlasting life. You seek to defy death, yet you cannot even defy sleep. And how alike sleep is to death. It is a painted death.
You think you are free, that your decisions are your own. Tell me honestly, did you really choose this path? Or was it chosen for you? Your father, with every triumph, every failure, was it not his decisions that brought you here? Has his path not sealed your own? Marked out in golden bricks below your very feet. The path is set. Keep your head up. Keep your weapon loaded. Follow the battle brick road.
Good morning, come on in. Coffee's good, fresh and hot. There's a waffle in the baker on the grill. We're making bacon. You're always welcome back.
Charge! What is up, all of you fine people? Hopefully I'm not muted. Hopefully my audio is working. Welcome to the Late Night Waffle Lodge. We have waffles. We have amazing things here. And we're going to be talking about Battle Brick Road 2, but I feel like that campaign is just Battle Brick Road inclusive. And one of the things that's crazy about being here at the Waffle Lodge and having this particular diner is you know, you really don't ever have any idea.
Charge!
Oh my goodness, order up. It is Eric Weathers.
The coffee here is great. The coffee here is
Man
fantastic.
of letters. He's a man of letters, is what they say.
Hello.
Which is to say sophisticate. That is what we've got here. And we had some fun streaming this morning and talking about Battle Brick Road. And I got to tell you, man, I am a little bit pumped to see this number right here. It's looking good, man.
It's looking good.
It's looking really good.
Good.
Let's see what we've got here in the chat, too, before I get too far into this. We have Mr. Monkey Boy 1969. We have channel member numero uno, Stephen Rockwood Drawing. I bow to you. He's dropping links like he's Oscar Mayer. He's talking about, of course, battlebrickroad.com. That is one of the first links in the description of this video to back merch, which we're going to be talking about, because this is the thing about this campaign that is kind of amazing. When I was looking at it and I was designing that chaotic thumbnail, but it's how I feel. It's exciting. I went. This is like a Battle Brick Road. I don't know if you call it just a book campaign. It's like a Battle Brick Road universe of things, and I can't wait to talk about it. Let's see. We've got, let me see who else we got here. We've got channel member Mark's Music Obsession. Nothing much, brother. I hope everything is good with you, and let me know how things are going. I hope everything is well. We've got Frankly O0 in the house. We have got channel member and my brother from another mother, Timmy Mello. It is great to see you in the house. It's great to see all of you guys. Hail Eric Letters Weathers. Indeed. And another channel member, For Us Comics. It is great to see you, my friend. I hope you are doing very, very well. And yeah, guys, this is the topic of the day because I have been painting and working on Battle Brick Road 2, and we were just talking this morning about just how excited we are about this campaign. I was a little nuts.
I've been working on Battle Brick Road 2 as well. Can you believe that?
I 100% do, because this right here, friends, doesn't just get done. This right here, friends, is a lot of work. Oh, look at these sales, guys. Look at these sales. And I had one of our dear friends, Mr. Monkey Boy, talking about this item, and he has backed the campaign on Kickstarter. And he said, man, I think I need to pick up one of those shirts. And if you do on this stream, let us know in the chat. But
Yes.
that was designed by the great Von Klaus. Talk to us about this beautiful shirt.
What can I say? It kind of speaks for itself. Vaughn, I asked him, like, the day before I launched, I needed a t-shirt design. And he's the guy you got to ask for t-shirt designs because he's
Amen.
the t-shirt guy. I mean, he's really good at that. He's good at a lot of stuff. He's good at writing. He's good at coming up with wonderful stories, wonderful worlds, but he's also got a good eye for design. And I was overwhelmed with getting everything else ready. So he came in, pinch hit for me, and, you know, grand slam, basically. All I gave him was the little design there of the crossed sides. That's it. He did it. He drew the Scarecrow. He did the Fear of the Reaper. All of that. All that's Vaughn.
Yeah, he's got a very, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Vaughn and his work, but Terror in the Trenches, y'all. Check it out. So yeah, I love Vaughn to bits. And you know who I've been thinking that he operates in a really similar space to is Razor Fist, because Razor Fist is doing more and more drawing and more art. And when I've worked on things or I've had questions about paintings of his characters, I go, do you have a sketch of this particular thing design? And he just sends me his art. He sends me his drawings or sketches. And Vaughn is doing more and more artwork, which I think is great because he has a passion for it, you know, and it's cool.
It is great about it. Actually, we're working on some ideas of stuff we want to do together. And he has a book where he just has everything's designed. The logo, the character designs are made, all of that. So for me, as the would-be artist, it's pretty easy to work with that because all that stuff's taken care of. And I don't think I've ever done anything like that before. You know, I haven't. I've only really ever worked on my own stuff art-wise. I did. That's not true. I actually did a 20 pages for Downcast 4 as well for boy Clint.
Downcast. I did the painting for Phil Diaz and Zaid Comics, and let me say this: American Comics Company, it's great to see you. You're always in good company when American Comics Company's in the house. I have to say that every stream, or I feel like something's missing in my life. And but you look at this sort of stuff. I worked on a painting for Downcast, which people saw in the CG Vacation book. For Clint, I mean, for the CG Vacation book of his character. And that was the thing that was so cool about it is when I saw your stuff coming out from that book, it was in the pages you were doing. I may have just wrapped that up or I was wrapping it up. I can't remember. And it was just, oh, this is so great. I'm so excited to see this stuff. So those pages are killer. And then what you're showing me from Battle Brick Road 2 is ridiculous. It's so good.
Yeah, he did it. You did a great job on that piece. And Clint's books have always been a joy to read and to work on. So I'm looking forward to working on Battle Brick Road. Downcast 4, you know, and it'll be fun to, you know, obviously I did 20 pages of that book, so that's fun. But, you know, being able to letter that and work on that with him is going to be fun as well.
I think we're going to be seeing more of this stuff, man. And it's, yes, you're a fine artist, good sir. There you have it. I think you're right on that one. Look at this stuff, man. It's a strange thing because I love working on independent comics just as a general rule because you've got so much room. You've got so much space to create in. It's not like it's a character that 1,000 people have drawn and then it's been deconstructed and then it's been this and, you know, all those kinds of things. Yeah. Fresh. And your characters in particular, it's like, what's your poison, man? You know, you've got every kind of character you could possibly. It's an illustrator, reader, and audience member's dream, dude. I love it.
Thank you. I like it too. I hope
Yeah,
that's
man.
evident. I hope that's evident. I'm really excited about this world that we've been putting together, Zeb and I. It's a blast to run around and it's a blast to play in. I'd like to see it, you know, in more media in the future. But we've got an amazing comic book that we're putting together. I'm almost done with the first half. I'm wrapping up the final pages before Halloween. That's the hope and dream, as it were. The whole thing is a wild ride, and we've been working on it for several years now. At this point, obviously, the first book came out in campaign launched in 2020, and then you know, fulfilled it in 2021, 22. So it's been a crazy ride getting it out there and telling this different version of Oz that people aren't used to, and hopefully people are like, not another Wizard of Oz. I've had some people say that, like, it's another Wizard of Oz thing, and I'm not interested. But the art hooks them, and then they actually get it and they buy it and they read it and they love it. So we're telling a unique version here. So
let's talk Wizard of Oz for a second. I have a couple of things that absolutely terrify me. And those things, since I was a kid, I can't explain this. It just is what it is. I'm terrified of Grease, the musical movie.
Yeah, okay.
It scares me. Terrified of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Terrifies me to no end. I think there's a musical theme you're about to find here. Utterly terrified of Wizard of Oz. Utterly. And to the point to where there's this grocery store that was near the college we went to, where every Halloween they would have the characters of actors dressed like the characters of Wizard of Oz in character run the aisles. And I'm going to tell you something, Eric. I didn't know that when I went into the grocery store on that day. So imagine you're coming down an aisle. Yeah. And the evil witch looking for the movie goes, I'll get you, I mean, I remember I just kind of took a couple steps back and went, sweetheart, you see that, right? Like, this isn't the end times. But here's what I'm going to tell you. And I mean the movies in all three of those cases, I haven't had experiences outside of that. And what's really interesting to me is that as I've gotten to know the story, the books, and actually I love the silent film version of this, you've made me really fall in love with these characters with this book. You and Zeb, I should say, have really made me fall in love with these characters in this world, because
thank you.
It's a very Oz is a big part of it. But to me, this is a story of the heartland in a sense. This is a very American, kind of field where the story takes place in. And as I, draw it and illustrate it, that's a big inspiration that keeps coming back,
Yeah. Well, I mean, we are trying to make it authentic, as authentic as we can, telling this kind of story. So, and that might seem a little strange trying to make some made up world authentic, but if you have to care about it, and we really do. Like, we're really pushing. And my art I'm pushing it as far as I can right now. And I'm drawing things that I've never drawn before. Still finding out where my weaknesses are, which is fun. That's a fun experiment. It's painful as an artist to know, like, I'm not good at that yet, but I got to draw it anyways. So, you do what you do, you make it work. But yeah, it's been a wild ride getting here. We're so close to just the halfway point, and I'm hitting I'm hitting the old stylus a whole lot harder these days, and I'm carving out extra time everywhere I can. Like, I'm looking at old screenshots I took of pages in their incompleteness, now knowing that they are complete. So that certainly is, just feeling good, making progress on this kind of thing.
So we got to talk about this print collection, because I think it's one of the smartest ideas in Comicsgate, frankly, and in this Iron Age space. But the main thing I want to talk about for starters is the artwork of this cover. That is something I'm in love with.
Thank you.
The artist.
A young Eric Weathers is the artist.
That's right. A painter,
In fact, I'm going to grab that. Yeah, I do. I dabble.
Please.
I dabble in painting. It's a digital painting I'm doing here in Photoshop. Actually, I forget. I was perusing Pinterest for I don't even know what. I use Pinterest as my what do they call that? My project board. You know, my reference photos and inspirational stuff. You know,
Mood
like
board.
mood board. Yeah, artists I like, and oh, you know, if I'm want to find gear for Scarecrow, I'll have like a Scarecrow gear folder so I can figure out what he's going to wear. And it was just one of those random pieces that I saw that sort of struck me, and I thought I want to do that. Feels like that could be Scarecrow in that side of that sort of mood. It was just this like Western style guy, gunslinger, just on the plains, you know. And I thought that'd be kind of cool to do something similar to that with Scarecrow. So, you know, you change the scene around, you give the character this moody look with his glowing eyes and his shiny scythe or sickle or whatever it is, and you know, just have some fun with it.
It's amazing because we were talking today, because I've been doing some character sketches and things like that as I work on my piece for this book, guys. If you have people ask me all the time, they're like, are you going to release prints of your stuff? Are you going to have a book where I can get a print of your stuff? And outside of this is the second thing I've done. So the first thing I've done was a commission. The commission for Razor Fist is going to be a poster. So the only other way, and most people I know, if they weren't on this channel and weren't tuned in, they missed that campaign because he closed it out. He did it 30 days or whatever and just closed it because he wanted to, you know, hold to that and say, get in where you fit in, as someone you work for once said. And the thing about it is that this is my second opportunity to really do something I've always wanted to do, which is a print, and it's going to be in this book, guys. So if you want some Shanthan Jetty art for your wall, this is the way to get it. This is where you're going to get an 11 by 17 painted print in this book.
I didn't know that you hadn't. I didn't know that you didn't have a print out yet. I guess now that I think about it, that's true, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm ever going to have a print of my work. First poster and first print is this year, and it's you and Razor Fist. That's where you can see it. And I'm going to make it Astana. That's my goal.
Excellent.
Yeah, dude. I'm really excited. Really excited. And so, guys, make sure, because there's going to be tons of great stuff in this book. Who's locked in for sure? Because we said it earlier this morning, but I think it's worth mentioning again.
You know what? I'm going to grab my list just so I can not forget anybody. I think we've got about 6 people so far. Excellent. We have Shanthan Jetty, unfortunately. Dan Lawless.
Yeah.
Jose Garcia, whose sketch I showed off. It looks really good.
Absolutely.
Irene Strachowski. You may have heard of her. Chad Townsend. And I've got, so that's 5. I've got 2 more people that I'm going to reach out to. Actually, I need to reach out to 5 more. But 2 more that I've got on my eye on that have expressed interest in the past that I just want to, you know, just make sure, see if they're ready to go. And then we'll figure it out. But also, we're going to be running a fan art contest soon. Announcements and details forthcoming. And whoever wins that, along with their winning the actual monetary prize, they're going to be in the print book as well. As long as you're, I mean, you got to really, really knock it out of the park with your artwork. So.
Yeah, you got to bring your A game for this kind of thing, man. And here we go. Julie Pascal saying, I'm trying to figure out if I back this yet. Moving is too much. Suck on the brain, yeah. And I can't just keep check Indiegogo, right? This is Eric's website only. Yes. And if you have an account, if you did it through PayPal, or if you did, I'm sorry, what is it? It's not through PayPal, right? It's through
it's just through Shop.
Yeah, if you type that in, if you type in shop and you search through wherever you do your orders from, it will come up in your inbox. You know, heck, you could probably type in Battle Brick Road in your
it'll show up. It'll show up as a Battle Brick Road number. And Julie, if that's not if you back with that name, and that would be the name that would be on your address or your email, I would be able to look it up. And I don't see Pascal in my search. But if that's not, I'm not asking you to tell me what your name is. But if you reach out to me, actually, if you email at battlebrickroad@gmail.com, you want me to double check with what name it would probably be under, more than happy to do so. battlebrickroad@gmail.com. We'll get that sorted out for you. So, yes, it is only at battlebrickroad.com.
Yeah, I backed mine under Brown Sugar. So if you could let me know when you search if that's in there. Because She goes. Julie goes, yes,
Hey.
that's my name. Thanks. Okay,
Right.
so there's no, yeah. So Julie, you are free to back, and I will tell you,
Yes.
I
There's no
don't know
Julie
if you have.
Pascal in here.
That's right. That's right. And you are, if you have not got them, what's really cool is this is the greatest thing about this website, because I kept thinking about it over and over again, like only a campaign. But because of the freedom you have, it really is like going to a Battle Brick Road store. And you can get your shirt, you can get your print collection, you can arrange any different combination. If you want your work signed, there's an area on here where you can, go and.
Nice one. What he's going to say, there's an area where you can go and add on signatures, and they're free, absolutely free. So if even if you have already ordered and you want to add a signature, you can just go back to the website and order the free signature perk. It adds it to your account. On my end, we'll be able to, we pull up your name, it'll say this many orders by this customer. So we'll sign your books. Right now, the only book that is currently being signed, every book, every copy of this book being signed is the special edition cover. So if you want the other, that one's going to be a book plate, it's super special edition. But if you want to get, signatures on your other books in the collection, then you just do that. Check out. It's free.
Check out. It is free, $0. And I hit back on the wrong window, disappeared into the ether for a second, because that, my friends, is what I do. And yeah, I got to tell you, man, my favorite things on this campaign actually, there's several, but I've backed the John Malin cover, which I'm really excited about because it's the first team up of them since Jawbreaker's Lost Souls, which is unbelievably cool.
The first team up of who?
Oh, since of John Malin and oh my God, the colorist's name.
Brett R. Smith.
No, can you repeat it again?
Brett R. Smith.
Brett, that's right. I was trying to. Is that right, Brett?
Yeah. Brett.
Yeah, I'm always trying to remember it because I know people sometimes by their first names, and who also colored, by the way, your cover, correct?
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful, dude. Look at that. Come on now.
Come on, son. Isn't it beautiful?
Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So we got that. And then the other aspect is, for me, my favorite things right now outside of the books. And by the way, do not miss out if you haven't gotten it yet. It is on sale right now. Book 1 with a cover by Kelsey Shannon. And of course, you can get any variation of book 2. You can get Eric's cover, which is one of the ones I've backed. It was the first one I backed. And then you can get John Malin's cover. And then you can get, of course, the special edition cover, which every single one of these is going to be unique. And it's, of course, included with a signature. And those things I love. I love the giant bundles that you've got there. But here are the 2 items that I'm unbelievably excited about, which is, of course, the print collection book, because I think it's awesome. And big fan of this vinyl record, which I've backed as well. So cool, dude.
It was just an excuse for me to be able to buy a record player and write it off as a business expense.
That's right.
Give it a tax write-off. Yeah, that's the only reason why I decided to do that.
100%.
No, we've got music from Vosto, who has done a lot of CG soundtrack songs for people, theme songs. And I probably a year and a half ago at this point, while we were working on this, while we were fulfilling the first campaign. So yeah, he did 2 tracks for us. We've got a song for Scarecrow and a song for Tin Man. So it's a 7-inch yellow vinyl, 33 RPM. So it's not a 45, but it is a 7-inch EP with 1 song on each side. And I'm probably going to be putting the order in for that fairly soon because
my goodness,
I want to be able to get it in hand and all that. We've got some design work to do for the sleeves and the jacket and a sticker and all that, but I'm probably ordering that sooner than later.
Yeah, I wonder if it plays. Hey, it might play on your Fisher Price, man. Those are
buy
playing
2 just in case it scratches it up, Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, buy 2. That's right. But no, they actually do. I don't know if what toy company it was, but there was a toy company for a bit that sold 7-inch record players, and they actually played really well. Oh, Mark's Music Obsession. Now, I know you probably hit return before, but you've left me hanging now in suspense. It says,
there's a cliffhanger.
I know. I'm dying to know how that one ends. But yeah, it's crazy because one of the things I've been working on and I'm really excited about has been, of course, working on the stuff I'm doing for the sketch. And because I had my power cable plugged into the wrong thing, I wasn't able to show it on the earlier stream on your channel. And so now that I've got that sorted out, the cool thing is I can show you guys the joy that is working on this sketch and working on these characters and trying to figure out what I'm going to do with them and where they're going to go. I mean, this is such a great world, man. This is such a great world, and I'm unbelievably excited about it, dude.
You really bring it to life, and even in this, not just, but even in this sketch phase, you're understanding it. You get it. You get what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I finally tracked down an actress. It's weird. I try to go to early Hollywood for actresses, and when you were telling me different people whose faces you thought for this, I go, okay, I've got to find somebody who I think has got some of the kind of character quality of this character that I'm going to study from. And I started to study and look at different people, and the person that I came up with that I'm currently looking at right now and this will make no sense. You won't, it's not like it will be a portrait of this person, that's not how it works. But I've been looking at the actress who starred with, oh my gosh, Johnny Weissmuller in the Tarzan movies, and who played Jane. And the reason why I started looking at her and saying, this is, oh my gosh, I've got to, that's some of what I want in there, is because she's got this kind of moxie in that movie it's Maureen O'Sullivan. She's got this kind of moxie of getting things done, and she's incredibly sexy. She's incredibly strong. Like at one point, she's using a rifle and fighting off like 2 lions by starting a little fire. She's awesome.
That's a great word for it too. Moxie.
It's
a great word.
Yeah, she's tough. I mean, she is now, just so long as my credit card still loves me. Julie, I know I've been there, and God bless you. Thank you so much for all of the support.
Thank you.
Yep. Since Julie is here,
helping us get to that 30K finish, not even finish line, but that 30K goal. I appreciate you. Throw your backer number in the chat. Let us know.
Absolutely. So this right here is for Julie. This is Julie's painted sketch that I've been working on stream. I was working on this a little bit today. So this is her head sketch. And I will say this, I've got miles to go before I sleep. But what's been so fun about, hold on a second. Just shout out to Maureen here. She was a hottie, Maureen O'Sullivan. And we must acknowledge. But it's this painting right here. It's such a bizarre thing because everybody's asking for monsters. And Julie asked for me to paint one of the things that is the most complicated, as you know, but also something that this is going to be, when it gets sent to Julie, it will be the only Laurel painting that anyone has outside of me, because no one has ever asked for a Laurel sketch. So I have all of the artwork except for this one. So Julie landed herself a very rare sketch.
Very exclusive club you're in there.
That's right. That's right.
That's beautiful. Now, remind me, you work in acrylics? Is that?
Acrylic washes on canvas textured illustration board. So it's crescent board. So it's all of these sketches. Let me see I don't know how many I have right here, but yeah, they're all done on that particular board, and the same board that I'm using for Mike's painting right here. And that is going to be let me turn that down just a little bit, maybe get an angle better, see if it focuses. There we go. But it's the same paper I'm working on for this. It's the same paper I worked on for Phil's original for the CG Vacation, which got bought, so I don't have that one anymore. And but yeah, and dude, can you Battle Brick Road, man? It's gonna be on this. It's gonna be so great, dude.
Tease. Yeah, dude, I'm really excited. I'm really excited. Man. I hopefully by with Christmas coming, I'm going to be getting my my paints in.
Heck yeah.
That Liquitex that's the brand, right? Do they have
Liquitex Heavy Body is the main thing. Yeah, you can get this at anywhere really, I think. But
Okay.
heavy body Liquitex acrylics, because the soft body acrylics, they don't have as much opacifier in them. So with the heavy body acrylics, what you can do is you can dilute them with a little bit of water and get a really nice consistency and do washes with them. But you can also work opaque. Whereas if you're doing a soft body acrylic, one of the things that you're going to run into is you're going to have no ability to get it more, to coat more. Do you get what I mean? So you can go one
Yes.
direction, but you can't go the other. And I think
All
that
these
that's what a lot of
limitations.
people. Yes, 100%. Yeah, let me
I'm
get
I've been
adjusting on it.
I've been doing a lot of research lately into painting, and I actually found this oil painting YouTube channel that is pretty intriguing. But you've said in the past that you think digital painting and oil painting are the most similar
Most
in terms of
100%. Yeah.
technique. And is it because of the slow drying time for oils that you can still mix very well, or what makes you say that?
It's because they can blend into. You can blend your colors and blend your surfaces to an infinite amount of time with Photoshop, a practically infinite amount of time with oils. And the challenge in all of those media is edge control and getting hard edges, because you can make every edge soft, but you have to
Okay.
think to put a hard edge down. With acrylics,
Okay.
you have to learn how to put soft edges down. And you can always get a hard edge with acrylics.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes it can just drive you crazy because you want to do a nice blend. And so that's one of the things I love to show people how to use acrylic, gouache, oils. I can't do. That's my studio mates thing. But even when I'm working in Photoshop, you can really see how someone once said to me, if you broke down Photoshop, what it's about, the main thing it's about is about selection. It's about edges and selection. So you got to get those edges in there. It's like an airbrush. It can always soften things up. But what makes somebody show off their skill in it is that they know how to put edges in. So it's a very painterly tool. The fact that you're working in digital for the art print collection, which again, guys, the link is in the description for Battle Brick Road. If you back, please let us know your backer number in the chat, and let us know if you've backed during the stream. The thing about it is that that cover to me was a very Eric Weathers on that print collection piece. Like when I saw that scarecrow, I went, that's where it's going to go. That it's inevitable. And here's how it's going to start. Because I want you to take a note, if I may.
Backer number 516.
Hold on a second.
Thank you so
because
much,
you
Julie.
backed. We have a rule here, Julie, as you know. When you back, you get saluted. So this is for you.
Charge!
God bless you, Julie. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Julie.
Let me see here. I always forget.
Look at that. No, that looked cool.
It did kind of look cool, actually, with it.
Yeah.
Right. But then I'm like, where'd Eric go? And I get
you don't need
confused,
me.
like Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer. You remember that? You know, he's like, it confuses me. Like, where is it? So here we are, guys. This is where we are at right now. Let's see. How long does it usually take to update?
Well, it's ready to go. You can just hit refresh. I have to do it manually, so I can. There it is.
Julie.
426. Just
We're
a hair
close.
over $500 away to 30K, we're going to unlock our Lion trading card.
And we want that Lion trading card. Thank you, Julie. You are a rock star. God bless you. We celebrate. But this was before today. I understand, but that's still something I want to hear. Still something I want to hear. We've got a backer in the chat. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. Yeah, Photoshop enhances and gives advantages that you never had before as an artist. Agreed. And my rule with people is, if someone says, do you do traditional or digital? Your answer should always be yes. That's the rule.
No, it's a great point. Like I started painting years and years ago. At this point, like I realized, so here's the, I don't know if I made this realization like a couple weeks ago, where I went to a Spectrum, what's that? What, they don't do it anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, the
Spectrum
fantasy
Art Live.
conventions.
Yeah, and it was just for like fantasy artists and painters and all of that. And so I had just started painting, And it was I was done with Flying Fortress. I was trying this new avenue, and it makes me wonder, like, what if I hadn't gone back into? I mean, I wouldn't be making Battle Brick Road right now for that what if, but
Sure.
but I was showing my work around, and I had been painting for, I mean, less than a year. I'd spent a lot of time drawing, had, you know, decades drawing, but just a handful of time painting. And just kind of getting the lay of the land, and even a year in, just trying to figure out how to make Photoshop work and doing a couple of pieces, and the guy was already like, "You could do commercial work right now," and and then I realized, I was thinking about that a couple of weeks ago, and I realized that was 9 years ago, and I never pursued it. It was 9 years
Well, here's
ago.
the thing. There is absolutely no time like the right time, and as you know, I think we were talking earlier today, you can't always tell when it's the right time. You know what I mean? Like, or how do I put it? It just happens. Like, it's not something that's planned. So I want to show you guys some fun stuff since we're here, since we're talking Battle Brick Road. The thing I wanted to talk about is when I talk about, I think I showed you something like this before, but when I talk about acrylics and I talk about what you can do with them, let me see.
Before you get to that, can you share my screen?
100%.
Is that going to mess you up?
No, it's not. I'm already messed up. Go ahead.
So I want to show off some of it. I don't know, you know, your audience may not know what the other things I've done art-wise.
Yeah.
So this is my art station. And these are the paintings I was showing off. This is like one of the first paintings I ever did.
You got to zoom, baby. That's beautiful.
Yeah. And let me see, is that a little bit bigger? And you know, it was a lot of fun to work on. It was a lot. I didn't know how to do any of this beforehand. I mean, you watch like Control Paint, you watch some Dave Raposo videos, some other YouTube tutorials, and you just figured it out. So that was a lot of fun. You know, you got to get Hopper in there, of course.
Yep.
I really enjoy portraiture. It's really fun to do. And because you know, when you got it right, you can tell, you know. And I think that's important.
Yeah, you can tell, and other people will tell you. And what was it? My favorite quote. I think I know I've told you this before because it's all my painter friends have had this conversation with me. But John Singer Sargent described his job as, he goes, a portraiture painter is a painter who paints people where there's always something funny about the mouth.
That's actually pretty accurate, and even in my limited experience. So.
Lordy, that is breathtaking, says Timmy Mello. Wow, says Julie Pascal. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, this is, you know, weird stuff I was doing. Now I'm looking at it and I can see the good stuff. I can see the bad stuff, the unfinished stuff. This was back when I was drawing on Twitch. I was just learning how to do it. I would just do it live on the live stream. Yeah, and it needed. But this was probably, you know, in time for Halloween. I actually made this last Halloween.
Wow, dude.
The Pumpkin King character here. And this was done in Procreate with like mostly like colored pencil brushes. But it was a lot of fun to work on. Actually, I started this painting at the drive-in. We were watching Beetlejuice at the drive-in, and I was working on this painting at that point.
Dude, I love drive-ins, man. They're so cool.
They're the best. It's a cheap way to go see a movie with the whole family, you know? So, yeah. Anyways, that's some of the other stuff I do when I'm not drawing Battle Brick Road and lettering every book in CG.
That's right.
Yeah.
Never forget it, folks. While you were asleep, Eric's lettering. Don't ever get that twisted. So I'm going to show you guys. I can show you guys a couple of tricks in terms of what I tell people.
Show me. I'm here to learn.
I'm telling you, man. Oh, we will absolutely do stuff like this. So this right here is some toned black Strathmore media paper. It's a great surface to work on. It can take a little bit. Oh, I need a decal of that bird on my boat.
That'd be
Mark,
awesome.
We can make it happen. Anything is possible here. So I want to show you guys. I've got some reference off to the side here just so I can sort of see it. But I want to show a little bit of how I always try to get people thinking about it, because I know we've got some artists in here. I know we've got some people who want to just explore painting and all of this kind of stuff. So one of the things I always say is start with a flat brush. Start with a flat brush for a lot of reasons, but the biggest one is to um, get you used to thinking about light instead of line. And it's the same thing with working digital. So I'm going to show you a little bit of how I approach this stuff when I'm working. So I go in and I'll just look at a subject and I will look for where I'm seeing the light and I'm making these brushstrokes. Now, this is very much, let me adjust. This is what I do have to say I like about having OBS is that I can adjust as I need, things like the gamma, things like the saturation, which I think is down way too low on this. There we go. Make it a little more saturated. It's going to need some context first. But as I build these things up, let me close that out. There we go. As I build this stuff up, what I'm always looking to do is find where and stay very loose and get that paint viscosity where I need it. And then I start to try to track down and find what are the marks. So I'm looking at a lion's head right now, and I'm move the light here so it's a little easier to see. I'm looking at a lion's head right now, but the way I'm approaching it is very much based on just putting in angles and forms and trying not to think about where it's going at this point. Just trying to think about getting those shapes in there that are going to help to build it out. And you know this well as an artist, we when we do this kind of work, we can see, how it works. Yes, absolutely. 100%. It's all about that. It's all about getting those paints to the right. I would say this, most of painting and most of the difficulty people have is actually getting the paint viscosity right. Once you get a handle on that, the paints behave better for you.
I guess it's like trying to find the right brush in digital format too.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Because once your acrylics start to drag, or frankly, once any of your paints start to drag, oils don't want to, generally speaking. But once they start to do that for you, it starts to frustrate you because you don't get the right look that you're going for. And so whenever I'm doing a painting of a subject, I'm always starting out with looking at the light and looking at where those marks are going to go, because I know I'll get to the hard edges, but if I mix my paint so that they're a little diluted, they will hold on to that moisture a little bit longer. And by having them hold on to that moisture, I can blend them a lot better. And I know that since the default setting of acrylics is a hard edge, I never worry about my hard edges when I'm painting with acrylics. I'm worrying about, or not even worrying, because it's the joy of painting, folks.
Why is it that you're not worried about the hard edges?
Because I can always add those in, so it's never a problem.
Okay, that makes sense.
Do you see what I mean? It's in Photoshop, I always think, oh man, I've got to worry about those hard edges because I don't need to worry about soft edges because I can get those in just fine. It's like you have to really work hard to get soft edges when you're working in Illustrator or a vector-based program. That's when it's a little bit more difficult. And so this is a little bit, it's not quite that. It's not quite gouache, but this is a little bit like that, where acrylics just want to dry out. They don't want the water in there, and they want to not give you those things. And so this is the point at which, when you're working like this is really where learning about paint and how paint works. And I can see that it didn't have enough water in it for me, so it wasn't being smooth. Do you see what I mean? How it starts to, I would say if you can do that, that's when you've got the consistency, when the paint will respond to you like that.
Well, I can already see where you're going with this, so that's good.
Yeah, right? Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
What was that? And when I went off to college, what were the things I avoided and what was I most terrified of?
Lions.
Well, tigers. I'm Indian.
Yeah. Oh my.
And those things love Indian food. And I mean that in all the ways you
That's
imagine.
actually true.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta watch out.
Terrifying. Don't ride a scooter anywhere in India is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing about it is I was terrified of color and painting. I was deathly afraid. And I always say they're like both of those things, and art in general is a bit like swimming. It's
Hmm.
better you've had no experience swimming than a bad experience swimming. It makes it that much harder to learn.
That's a good point. Maybe it's a good thing. I never pursued painting. I was
Mhm.
always drawing, always drawing. All the art classes, like if the assignment was watercolor, of course I'd do it. But all the electives and things, I was just like, I just want to draw my comic books, you know. And my art teacher was really cool about that. But you know, looking back, I kind of wish maybe I wouldn't have been receptive to it. That's entirely possible. But I kind of wish that he would have urged me and encouraged me to dive into that more. And then when I got to college, I wasn't even doing art. I was not that kind of art. I was doing graphic design. So it it it's been interesting that that's where I'm almost being called to. It feels like I'm being pulled in that direction where
Yep.
I love making the books that I'm working on. I'm Battlebrick Road and the other ones I have in the hopper. But there's this, and maybe it's just like a personal thing. Like I just want to just do it for me. Maybe paint a a portrait of something for my mom or something. But just keep it as a hobby and keep it as something that I do to kind of maybe unwind or whatever. But also have it in my arsenal.
Well, it's like this, man. If you need to paint, like, I need to play the violin. I don't know why. I just do.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter how good you are at it or what other people think. I mean, when people decide oh, you're good, I want to see you do that.
Hmm.
It'll all be very organic. But I think a lot of people, I would argue that most people I met when I was teaching, and I was teaching predominantly seniors at the college I taught at, they were all convinced by the time they got to senior year that they could not paint. It was not possible. And when they had me as a teacher, they're like, why did nobody ever teach painting that way? And I used to give the answer I used to give that was, I think, somewhat magnanimous, but was true in a lot of senses, is I go, you can't always learn from people who are naturals,
Yeah.
because naturals go, well, you just paint. Just
Yeah.
paint. What's the
Yeah.
problem? And they can't really explain what they do. And with people who have to learn, like me, who weren't naturals, but had to learn it a different way, I always said, if I could teach myself how to paint, I could teach anybody. And that's kind of my strategy. That's kind of how it works.
I think that's where I'm going to pivot as well for the lettering stuff. Like I taught myself all of that. I think I can
Yep,
teach others how to do it.
that's right.
And that's sorry, I'm moving a cord. That's
Go ahead.
sort of a pivot that I'm going to be making in my YouTube game here. I don't know how
Yep.
soon, but soon. Really diving into that whole thing. I've mentioned this in the past on my own channel and other places, and it's sort of been coming up recently a lot more as people saying, "Hey, are you ever going to do that?" Because I've
Mm-hmm.
been talking about it for quite some time now, and it feels like the stars are aligning in that sense. Like it's becoming louder, and the background noise of that. Like, are you going to
Mm-hmm.
teach how to do this? That is coming through way louder than it ever has been before. So
Yeah.
I can't ignore that.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that was essential for every great time period in art and culture was mentorship. And you can now
Hmm.
mentor people, and you can show people and pass skills to them from around the world.
Yeah.
And that one guy, Blender Guru, I told you about, he's probably
Yeah.
taught more professional special effects artists than almost any creator, because he's doing this this educational format where he meets people where they are. He's in Australia, and he's communicated people in Europe, all over the world, who want to learn. And they're like, thank you, you're why I became a professional special effects artist.
Yeah.
Now
I mean,
he's
there's
why my son
the
is.
same. My son found his videos a year or two ago, and he's 13 now. So he started when he was like 11 or 12. And
Mm-hmm.
he's been making models. He hasn't been doing it as of very much recently, but I know he's going to be dipping his toes back in because he was really into it there for a while, and he's expressed the interest in like maybe I should try that again. So that's going to be fun for him to do. He's also going to be working for me as well and helping me
Yeah.
grow the lettering business. He actually has been for a few years now, setting up pages for me, a little like, sweeping the shop, so to speak. And as the years go and as he gets older, he gets more responsibilities for that too.
Hey, Snuggie Jr. And first,
That's
understood. Get some rest, my friend. Whoa, the face appeared from nowhere. That is what I love about doing this. This is the Bob Ross aspect of this, of painting, that the joy of painting, some would say. That
Some
I
would
find,
say that.
yeah, some might say. He's still crushing it on YouTube. I'll have everyone know. His he doesn't need to worry about algorithms.
No.
He just gets it done. But this is the same size.
And he's dead. What's your excuse?
Exactly, that's right. He does better on YouTube dead than most of us do alive. And so this is the thing when people ask me, like, what is the process of doing paintings and how do you explain how this works? Well, first of all, and this is a real trick, the same way I taught Photoshop, you have to try to force people out of their drawing mindset, because learning your painting mindset is going to actually, in the long run, improve your drawings. It sounds completely insane, but it's how it works.
I know it sounds insane, but I've lived it.
Yep.
So,
you can see it. You can see it in your stuff. Yeah. The painter is definitely there.
Yeah, I've lived that. I've lived that life. It's trying to find that balance. So one of the artists that is a huge influence on me right now is Pepe Laaz, and I've been following him on Instagram for a while, and a little while back, probably a year or so, I don't exactly know, but he was talking about how he's trying to push his line art to be more painterly, and I took that to heart because that's exactly what I do, because I feel more comfortable painting than I do trying to ink. Like, I can't ink I don't like inking traditionally because I don't like the solid, unbending rules of the ink. And it's the same even digital inking. It has to be a pencil that I use that can just, with enough layering and feathering, turns into a solid line and looks like an inked line. And lately, his stuff, he's drawing Big Game by Mark Miller, and his stuff, he's doing it. It's paying off in his journey to try and make that painterly style line art happen. If any of you have seen his stuff from Big Game, it is it's absolutely inspiring for me. And it's working. It's absolutely working.
Yep, that is what you want. You want to get that inspiration from the stuff that you're looking at. I think that's what we're all after. And so, when I'm doing stuff like this, I want people to see the process of playing around. And what if you did make a mistake? What's the big deal? You know what I mean? It really is about, I'm actually trying to spend time with the subject matter and think about the subject matter in paint. And these colors are going to shift. They're going to adjust. They're going to do different things. And then I can go in with a smaller brush if I want to. But the room that I have while I'm doing this to go in, and by the way, I should point this out because I haven't pointed out one of my biggest rules about doing this stuff, or I should say guidelines about doing this, which is when you're doing this type of work, start with 2 colors that are either complementary or close to, and then just black and white. So in this particular case, I'm using cadmium orange, and then I'm using a, what's it called? Quinacridone purple. And so that is giving me the ability to keep things relatively, simple. So I've got a warm and a cool, and then I just kind of go in and start to play around with my highlights and see where I want this thing to go. And just kind of play around and just see where it goes. And if it goes somewhere where I'm like, I need to bring this back or I need to do that, it's not a big deal. It's a very, relaxing process of doing this stuff and sketching things out. And so I want you guys to think about, when you're talking about the work you're doing before you get down into the, the detailed stuff, because what the detailed stuff comes out of is, and I'm going to be painting on the finish of your piece once I get started on it, and you'll see that the other ways I work. But once you get to this particular point right here, if I get out a smaller brush, it's going to help me with some of the detail stuff. It's going to help me to bring the drawing aspect into it. But if I start with a small brush, it will prevent me from getting the bigger sweeping aspects of it. That's going to make it actually a great painting. Do you see what I mean? How that starts to instantly bring it into focus. That's always there with acrylics. It's always possible to go in and bring this stuff into focus with the paint. And when you're doing, when you're going and doing in the detail work, if you haven't built up those ground colors, it's never going to be easy for you to do this kind of stuff. But once you have it, you get to really kind of just bring these things out. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I see you do when you work in digital. I mean, you do it in your drawing, you do it everywhere. You're a painter. It is what it is. I'm sorry to break it to it, but
don't tell my wife. That's exactly what she wants to hear.
I know she does. Man, that's what is impressive. Mark's Music Obsession says in his best Vader, which is probably better than mine. But it's tough. It's always tough to see these things with the spotlight on because it sort of blows it out. But I just want to show you guys just the fun you can have with big shapes when you're working. It's the same way that Bob Ross would do, the kind of mountain stuff. And believe it or not, and I'm not going to rest this in the wet paint. Don't worry, Julie. But it's very much what's going on when you see me working on something like this. It's very much the same thing, and, my general attitude of this kind of stuff is just push the work that you're doing, in the direction that it wants to go. And you'll find out, where it should go and what it should be about, because this is this piece. And then there you go. There's a look at that one right there. And you can kind of just see where the bones of this stuff live and where they are. So yeah, fun stuff. But I figured since I had you here and people wonder, what do we talk about when we're not streaming? And Eric and I will have conversations about painting a lot. And that's what it comes down to.
We're very exciting people.
We are. We're thrilling. We'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Yeah, the back edge, because you're sliding out of your seat out of boredom.
That's exactly right. Well, with me, I think you might be falling asleep. I mean, that's unfortunately something that people do. They just fall over. And so yeah, guys.
Everybody's gifted in a different way,
That's exactly right. That's right. I'm the Ambien of friendships. So the thing that we're talking about today, guys, is Battle Brick Road, as you can plainly see, is at $29,400 and almost $30 right here. And we want to get us within 500 and we want to push on to 30K. That is the objective. That is the goal. That is the hope. That is what we are here to do, my friends. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm really excited, man, because we were talking about the world of Battle Brick Road earlier today. And I guess the thing that, and it's tough because I don't want you to give away spoilers. We can do some of this stuff offline. Sorry, folks. But I was looking at the character of the lion, and I remembered at the very least, I know you've said this on stream, that you didn't want to do a character that looked like it was some range exactly in a line between lion to person. You wanted to do something that was a little bit more poetic. What was the drive for that in terms of just the feel you wanted the character to have?
It's well, I mean, you kind of said it there. Is I want to make him different than all the other lion type characters that you've ever seen anywhere in any pop culture or anything. Anthropomorphic characters are prevalent in our space, and if I just had another lion-faced guy, he doesn't. You can look at it and maybe his costume or his hair or whatever, you think, oh, that's the lion, but somebody may not know. And if you see this character who is physically being torn in two, so to speak, between man and beast, there's no other character like that. And as a character designer, I want to be able to pull. What's up, man? It's good to see you. I want to be able to pull people into a character design, and so they know who it is, where it's from, and it stands out. And even just being able to look at it as a silhouette, or being able to like see it out of the corner of your eye. Like imagine there's an action figure or something, and see it out of the corner of your eye on the store shelf, and just know like, oh, that's the lion from Battle Brick Road, because he's got the big arm and the regular human arm and the half face and all of that, because you just don't see that kind of thing. It's the reason why the characters are the way they are. He was the most fun to design. He also took the longest.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when I was watching, when I was watching the trailer before we started the show, and when I was working on the painting today, the biggest thing that I've come to realize is that this property, what is up? How are you doing, Sheep City? And I can tell Michael's stream may have wrapped up. He's sending peeps our way.
No, these are the these are my Rippaverse team members.
There it is. Oh, yeah. Excellent. Welcome, guys. Shout out to the Rippaverse. Shout out to all of you guys. Look at these beautiful people here. And I know they've backed Battle Brick Road, and if they haven't, they'll back it now. Of course. I love this. Edwin Bloodbone second chance campaign on Fund My Comic Acevedo. Hail to you, my friend. Let me say this. One of the most fun things that's happened this year has been designing the Fund My Comic logo that they ended up using. It was totally just for fun on a lark thing for Narwhal's trailer, and I'm so excited to see people doing campaigns on Fund My Comic. And I think Rini has one up on Fund My Comic, which is great.
Does she?
That's right. Backed the I want all this shit tier, says Caffeinated Wolf. That's what we like to hear. God bless you. You know what? You're new here, I think, and I didn't know that. So I'm going to celebrate you with something that is a special thing for Super Chats, but I think you've earned it with that. This is for you, my friend.
Charge!
Shout out
and cheers.
American Comics Company. Yeah, man. It's great, man. I have to tell you this. This has got to be one of the most exciting and dynamic times to be into comics and be into media, this Iron Age space, because I'm seeing so many people who are just getting in the water and trying things and trying to do things. And ultimately, oh gosh, I can't even believe I didn't bring this up today. I'm going to apologize. I don't even know if I can get this on screen, but
you want one?
I got I got to make myself a little bigger here. Hang on a second. I got my Welcome to the Iron Age t-shirt. If I can get this to work, my dyslexia will try to make it work. I got my Welcome to the Iron Age t-shirt right here. And this is, I'm very excited about, man.
I want one. All I have is this measly Battle Brick Road special edition t-shirt. That's all I have.
You know, and might we say there are some fantastic, really great. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I love the Iron Age stuff, man. And yeah, the cheerleaders are for you. Oh, I think I missed Rini's Fund My Comic too. Oh no, yeah, it's crazy. We've got so much stuff going on right now, and that's why why we do these streams. And if you haven't backed this shirt, I know I've mentioned this before, and of course, for those I Want It All folks, you've got your bases covered. But one of the things I'm really excited about is Vaughn's t-shirt design on this campaign. It is fantastic. Look at that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Actually, I want to mention this, a couple of things about this t-shirt. One is if you purchase this with an I Want It All or a Superfan bundle, you get the shirt for 25% off.
Awesome.
So that's an automatic discount you get at checkout. Second thing I want to mention, if you've backed the campaign already and you want to back another version, you want to get another cover or what have you, you don't have to pay extra shipping. You can actually just type in free shipping at checkout. And if you've already have an order with us, and it doesn't count with just the signature, you have to spend at least $1, I think, or whatever the minimum threshold was, $10 or whatever. You can actually have your additional orders sent, they can be sent at the same time. You don't have to have extra. You're not going to be paying extra shipping or anything like that. Another reason why having it on our own website is a beautiful thing. So just a couple of, couple of little tweaks we're able to provide, a couple of little bonuses we're able to provide for not.
Listen, Julie.
Go.
We appreciate every backer. Do not ever apologize for the level at which you back at, because this is the craziest thing about all of this stuff that is amazing to me, is that for so long, the mainstream entertainment industry outside of this Iron Age space and this Comicsgate space and wherever you find yourself, I think, Razor Fist. And then I start thinking about all of these other people on YouTube who have built these businesses here and outside of the mainstream kind of fall into this. That every donation has such a bigger, every contribution, every purchase has such a bigger impact in our space than it does when you're throwing it towards a mega corporation that loses, frankly, the totality of earnings that we make in our campaigns in the sofa cushions. Like Disney can misplace a couple $1 million or $1 billion, as it seems lately. And they're like, whoops, wait a minute. We lose $2 billion a year on streaming. Like that's the profit margin is minus $2 billion. That staggers my brain. You guys come together. You give us, you back campaigns like the first book, ISOM from the Rippaverse, as you guys know, and it's $3 million and it changes lives. You go and you back Cyberfrog and you move that into the millions, it changes lives. And you go and get Battle Brick Road 1 to 100K, and it is massive for Eric and Zeb because it means they can do more. Because it means that they can do these art books. They can commission folks like me to do artwork, which I'm honored to be working on. In the same way that Razor Fist had his 300K stretch goal for me to do a poster. Yeah, and that's why it exists, is a lot of backers together. So if you haven't yet, tweet this stream out and tell people we are pushing Battle Brick Road to 30K. We're moving Battle Brick Road to 30K here. Hashtag Comicsgate, hashtag Iron Age. Come here, back the book. Here's the link. That's what we're doing tonight.
That sounds
I have my Iron Age shirt 10 feet away in the army green. Yes, indeed. Pops the colors. Guys, I love about this.
The link for that, by the way, is that somewhere people can see it? Can you bring it up so they can see the shirt?
Oh, the shirt I'm wearing right now? Or that shirt?
Where they can buy it. Your shirt.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So the link is in the description to my TeePublic. That is where you can get these T-shirts. I think I put it in the description, although I went very heavy Battle Brick Road, as you know. I've been known to do it. And let me see if I can find it here. And I've got, I should have grabbed the other one too, but I wasn't thinking, Eric. And it may shock people.
I know.
I wasn't thinking. Staggering. Crickets. If you put your ear up to mine, you can hear the ocean, Eric. It's a terrifying thing.
I have that too, but I think it's called tinnitus.
Yeah, that's true. That also is the case. Yeah. you can hear the screaming of the lambs, Eric, if you put your ears up to mine. But let me share this with you guys, because this has been such a cool thing. And I want to give a special shout out to Razor Fist, not only for the opportunity to work on Ghosts of the Badlands, which has just been a blast, but in another level, just for getting all of us to kind of wake up and go, we are creating the culture. We're done whining about it. We can take, I think about this for a minute. To take two people to the movie, you might be lucky to get out of there for under $30. For $30, and you leave it with the experience. If it was a bad movie, that was the experience you got. That's what you got for your money, right? And I used to work in a movie theater, so much love to movie theaters. And when you take that same money and you back this campaign, it has a massive impact on our culture, and you get a physical, beautifully crafted book, and you're a part of something that's way bigger than just the book itself, and the book is great. That's what's so cool about it. And what do you expect? It's the great Eric Weathers, not the average Eric Weathers, for those of you who are confused.
Get it right.
You know?
What book? This book right here. Well, this is
You're darn right. You're darn right. And it comes in many covers.
It does.
It's
comes
joyous.
in this cover.
Comes in this cover.
Comes in that cover.
That's right.
And actually on this campaign, unless you got the Ubermensch tier, it comes in this cover.
Boom. That's right. By the great Kelsey. There it is.
Kelsey Shannon.
100%. Yeah, man. It's so cool. And so, yeah, the two designs, and this is another thing, guys, this is a part of the Iron Age. This is a part of what we're doing here, is that when you see this stuff right here. What's crazy about it is I can take these designs. I remastered these in high resolution because originally they were just for YouTube videos. But you can get these designs, and it's not like you can pick what color shirt you want to get. I don't know if it's loading still. Let me see if it is. Oh, there we go. And if you're like me and you want the hot pink, look, love is love. But you can get these shirts in almost and male fit and female fit. Don't know what that means, but there it is. And as I think Mark was saying, I think he got his in the army green, which I'm trying to figure out where the heck that is. Vintage green. They have a lot of asphalt. Gotta love that. Is this the army green? Here we go. I think this is a military green. Sorry. And you can get these in any different color, but this is the better part of it. You can get hoodies. It's all there in every size from small to 5XL. You can get stickers. If you're a sticker person, if you're like, you know what, I've got too many t-shirts, you can go and get these. You can get it on a phone case if you want people to know that you hang out late night at the Waffle Lodge. Mugs. I know this is getting ridiculous, but this is what TeePublic frees us up to do. You can get kids shirts if you want your kid to get bullied at school. Like these are opportunities.
Yes, especially if they're homeschooled. If my kid is wearing, we homeschool our children. If my kid's wearing that shirt, he's getting bullied. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Listen, folks. I don't make the rules. All right. Neither does Outback Steakhouse. But my son was seeing this and he goes, I want a hoodie with this on it because I wear more hoodies than I do t-shirts, stickers again. And these have been remastered. I've got the shirt on right now. I've also got the Waffle Lodge shirt. And what's so great about it is that the resolution came out really nice in the print job. It came out great. Look at this stuff.
On behalf of myself in the chat, thank you for wearing a shirt right now.
I am. Well, here's the thing, though. I did cut out 2 circles in it. So as long as I keep the camera.
Okay.
I
got it.
Yeah, it's craziness, man. I'm loving this stuff. And that's the joy of being where we are, is that we get the chance to create these things and make these things happen, because and you're right, when you guys talk about backing and you go, man, I wish I could back for more or do this, that I understand what you're saying, but trust me, by the time that percentage of your backing gets to, Disney or wherever else, don't compare the two. This is going right into the production of these. Yes, coffee time. That's right. Speakeasy indeed. That's how we do it. And you've got Simply Green saying, what's $1 billion to Disney compared to $1 million to EVS? Oh my gosh. You mean the metrics of $1 million? To Disney, that would be the equivalent probably of, I think they said ESPN, because they've separated it out now. I think their earnings were 75. What was it? Something of 75 billion, I think, was the earnings. Yeah, so it would be in the neighborhood probably of $30 billion to $40 billion. That's what $1 million would be to any one of us in terms of relative to what we're doing. What's up, Metal Movies and Brewskis? It's great to see you. So I want you to think about that metric, right? Like if you had $1 million, it would be the equivalent, because you think about all the properties they run.
$1 million
I could sing that song start to finish, man. Every version of it. And maybe I could help that old lady up there. Welcome to the Bryant Street Theater. Have a fruit roll up. We've got that whole thing down there. But
you have a
when
problem.
we look at this, yeah, I do. It's my memory scares me. It's it's not like I know Return of the Jedi completely by heart. Command Station SSD-321, we're starting approach to activate the security shield. It's not that. That's not the first line of Return of the Jedi. Okay. If it was, that would be creepy.
That would be weird.
But we've got that. It is weird though when you think about it.
I'm so glad you don't know that.
Thank God I'm not a weirdo.
Nerd.
But this number is what I want to see moving right here. The next backer.
It just did.
It did it really?
Yeah.
Holy cow. I should have been paying more attention. This is sad.
No, it's a good thing that we got a backer. It's a good thing.
That's
not
excellent
sad at all.
No, it's wonderful. Who backed? Did they let us know in the chat? Who just backed?
Maybe they're in the chat. Maybe they're not. Who knows? If they are in the chat, let us know what your backer number is.
Just wait until those taxes hit. That's right.
Oh, that's all right. I got a tax guy. He makes them go away.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
I know a guy. Yeah, wasn't expecting the on-the-fly math. Probably right for proportional effect. how do I put this? When you think about, and we won't get into these details today, but when people think about, look at campaigns, and when you guys get Nosferatu, like I said, 600 pounds worth of pallet of books is being delivered on Monday. And it's going to be tough to watch my wife carry all those in, but I'm going to do it. And the thing is, well, I, sit back and, drink, have a champagne, but it's
You're
the amount of money, I'm celebrating.
Yeah.
I mean,
you did all the hard work. She can bring the books into the house.
That's right. Yep. Our marriage is, we share the labor. She does about 89%, and I pull my 50%. And the thing is that, when I look at this stuff and I get the delivery, hey, we got narwhal out of the deli. You did the Fred Meyer deli.
Yeah.
Again, not that my memory is like, terrifying, but it is what it is. Yeah, I don't remember an hour ago. Yeah, I don't either. Salivating. Yeah, so when those books arrive, here's the crazy thing about it. I can't really speak to, I hate to see women suffering like that. It's why I go inside and have a beer. 40% said, it, man. You see, we've got some lovely people in the chat, and people of the chat, I say. And the thing is that if we break down, if you look at that total raised on Nosferatu, and then we get into shipping and printing of the books, like if I told you guys how much these books cost to print, the quality, it's a very big book printer that's doing it because they are the ones who did my first 2 art books, and because I want to make sure those things are consistent for those of you guys who backed those. And the money that we spend on these books, we're not making billions of dollars, but by God, that's where we're headed. That's what we're trying to do. And so when you guys see those numbers, when I see $1 million, I look at it. Here's how I look at things in campaigns. If I see $1 million or $3 million, the first math I do is the shipping. Then I do the shipping supplies. Then I do the book printing. Then I do the second proof or the third proof. Then I think of hiring all of the people. That's what's crazy. Holy cow, Steve Weathers in the house, a relation?
Indeed.
That would be creepy if you said no. And then Steve
never heard of the guy. Yeah.
I've gotten to like everything about you. Purchased 2 Fear. I'm calling from outside Sean's house. Just purchased 2 Fear the Reaper t-shirts. Count them, 2 from Steve Weathers. I doff my cap to you, my friend. And because that, yes, absolutely. And I've got to say this. I'm sending you some cheerleaders. I hope you don't mind. This is for you.
Charge!
What a legend.
Charge indeed.
A legend. Gross.net, that's right. Yeah, I hate everything now, says Steve.
He has everything now.
Oh, I have everything now. I think I hate everything now after that.
He's hated everything for a long time. So
that's right. No, that's me, I think. That just goes to show you where I'm at. I thought I was like, Steve, that was dark for a minute there, I should say. Mr. Weathers, sir. Julie says you should make more artists and writers deserve real money. But here's the crazy thing, right? God, I feel like I'm going to quote Unforgiven. Deserves got nothing to do with it. No, but it really is. You guys make this happen. You guys, our family, as you see obviously in the chat, our family and all of our support system, they're incredible for us. But then there's this bigger space that we're in right here where you guys are trying to make culture that people can find palatable, that people can actually enjoy, and where the creators don't despise you, have disdain or contempt for the audience, where the creators actually care about the audience and value you. And we value you because it's not possible without you. We say this all the time, and it seems kind of obvious, but think of how many times we've witnessed people saying, well, we don't, it's not the fans aren't keeping us in business in the last 10 years, it's craziness. And I look at this stuff. I have been looking for the truly creative and amazing artists my entire life to hang out with and make stuff with. And this is what I see. And I've
been here the whole time, Sean.
I know. Look at this, guys. Breathtaking.
Are we going to be showing off artwork tonight? Should I be doing
Yes,
that?
we are. Call it up. I want some sneak peeks. And
Yes,
thank you. I am so glad you have everything now, and that is wonderful. I love those. I love those shirts. You know, ready for the coffee mugs and some Battle Brick Brew. Amen. I was talking today about, and I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but I was telling Eric today about my favorite channel, Townsend's, and they actually they have this company that makes very beautiful handcrafted mugs, heavyweight mugs. And they do this, they do 18th century cooking, living, like how you do things back in the time. They're a family business, father and son. Father started the business and son continues it. And now I think his daughters are involved. And they now have 2 million, I think, plus subscribers on YouTube. And it's just become massive. But they've kept it humble. It's great. God bless those guys. All right, you're getting some cool stuff to share, I see.
Yeah, I'm taking a screenshot of, you know what? Yeah. I'm feeling generous. And I want to show off a panel from my favorite sequence in the whole book that I've drawn so far. I mean, I'm just wrapping up the first half of the book now.
Yeah.
But make sure that, so this is one of my favorite storytelling beats that I have ever drawn.
So. Oh my gosh, I'm excited now. Let's have it. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Out of context, I mean, you know, whatever, but in context, when you guys see this page, this sequence that's taking place here, you know, as Shanth pointed out earlier today when we were streaming, is Scarecrow is basically John Wick.
He is.
And you do fear the Reaper, and this fella running away fears the Reaper indeed. So yeah, I'm just so excited about this book, guys.
Dude, if this book is going to be incredible. I've seen more than my fair share. Thank goodness. That's the joy of working and having artist friends in this space. This book is going to be incredible. And what's awesome is not only is the IP Battle Brick Road, the world or the comic world of Battle Brick Road incredible, but each individual character is begging for a one shot. And that's what's so cool about it. You see it and you go, like, I was looking at some of the entertainment that the Daily Wire is trying to get off the ground. And I went, somebody is going to spot this at some point and go, we need to do a show. We need to do an animation. We need to do something with this because this will make great action figures and toys. It's just got to happen. So cool.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Let's make that happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that's a beautiful bit of artwork right there. My goodness. And your painterly sense it's all over this, dude.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
All right. That's enough of that tease.
That's right. Yeah, and Timmy Mello says, where else could we get late night breakfast, grand slam, and talk art and comic? The Waffle Lodge is the place to be. Amen. Amen. We're so glad you guys are here. If Scarecrow is John Wick, who would Lion be akin to? Ooh.
Do I say it? I'll say it. Aragorn.
Boom. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Let that sink in, people. Let that imagination, as I was talking about the other day, go wild with what that could mean.
Yeah.
Bang. Yes, waffles are the best. Awesome sci-fi monster writer Larry Correia. Larry Correia is amazing. I watched that interview with Ethan. Has a waffle thing going on. Are you kidding? Going on as well, the eternal battle between Pinelandia and Krasnovia over pancakes versus waffles. Oh my God, I would love to have that guy on at some point, because when he was talking about all of the craziness over in the science fiction fantasy world of writing, I was glued to it. Damn. Yep. It's beautiful. Oh, I knew. Yeah, Ken, I knew what you meant. Yeah, I knew what you guys meant. I've been speaking chat forever. I just read the word "have" wrong a few minutes ago. I want to let that sink in. You know,
I think it should be pointed out more and more that
it should be, man.
Yeah, I mean, you defaulted to hate, which I think speaks volumes. You know,
it does. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the dirty little secret, that we're a hat group up in here, and that's the way it is, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I want to see us continue to do really cool stuff like this, and I think so many people have said this before. but I think merch is definitely a part of it.
Mhm.
Is that it's, I want to have stuff like, and that's why I've got this patch on my hat, because I want to have stuff to show what I'm interested in, what I'm into. And seeing this row right here of not just the signatures, not just the Fear the Reaper shirt, but this as well, which I got with my first purchase, Operation Zephyr or Oz Declassified. I love this stuff. If you're a concept art fan and you have not gotten this yet, for heaven's sake, do it. It's really great. Really great book. And it's got a lot of great details about the story, some initial sketches, where things went. It's got a lot of behind the scenes kind of cool stuff in it. This 60-page supplemental book from the 2020 Battle Brick Road campaign is chock full of concept art and behind the scenes goodies to intrigue the mind and delight the senses.
Even has the very first Ash Can 5-page story that we did. It's got character designs. So like the very first sketches I ever did of Thea, I was trying to come up with her concepts, the different color of logos that we were thinking about. Scarecrow, of course, Tin Man, Lion. I told you it took forever for me to get Lion to the place where he is right now. You can see on my screen here, Sean.
Oh yeah, let me hold on.
He went through
wait. Let me get
100 different iterations in order to get him.
This.
Oh my goodness! There we go.
Sorry
in order to get him. Look, I mean, he was just a heavy weapons guy to begin with.
Dude.
So he's gone through the ringer, and sometimes his arms maybe a little too big, So that's fun. The other thing we've got, we even have a bestiary section in here of like me coming up with the villains and the Khalida design with all of that. So,
dude, this world is so immersive. That was the thing. That was the thing when I was reading the first book. I'll show you the sequence I got to. Eric, this is an unintentional pun. All right. I want the record to show that this was an unintentional pun when it came to my head, but I'm going to say it anyway. The moment, where's that sequence? And if this spoils it for you, catch up. And I'll cover this just so it doesn't offend anybody's senses. But when I got to this sequence right here with the multi-armed tiger attack that's going on here, I thought we're not in Kansas anymore. That's what I thought.
Yeah, you had to go there, didn't you?
I did. I had to go there because it's so true. Lion is so badass. Says metal, movies, and brewskis 100%.
Thanks,
yeah, and Sheep City, and you're right. Let everybody get your orders in. Let's move this, because here's the crazy thing. When we move one of these campaigns to 30K, or we move one of these campaigns to some big milestone number, it actually causes, as much as you think, and then people are like, okay, now I've got to back off a bit. It actually has the opposite effect. It actually makes people go, oh man, now I don't want to miss out on this. And this space for Eric's been in Comicsgate since the start, the very, very start. And and it wasn't what it is now. When I hear people talk about how hard being in Comicsgate is now, I'm not saying that it's the easiest thing in the world. The challenges of working and creating are many, but I will say this. It was so much harder before because it was about breaking the static friction and getting this thing moving. At first it was none of these books are ever coming out. Then the books came out, and then people were saying, well, they came out, but this book is late, but this book is this. And slowly but surely, we're building something from nothing with you guys. You guys are a part of making something that people will look back on and go, that was an important thing. And you can say, I was there, and now I'm putting my kids through college on these first books that I got of Battle Brick Road. There, I said it.
You did say it.
Simply Green is pretty much where Comicsgate is now. Everyone is done fighting and fully into creating, ignoring the inconsequential. And if they're making noise or not, yep, that is 100% true. Yep, though I don't mind the odd bit of drama. Well, there's always odd drama. Oh, sorry, odd bit. I get you. Eric is one of the founding fathers of Comicsgate. He even has the white wig. I've seen it. There's a lot of spearheading done
just
in the
for
early
Candace.
days. Yep,
Yeah.
Just for Candace. Yeah, Candace is like, now that would be really creepy if Candace just walked behind you, with that white wig on and sewing an American flag, and I'd go, man, he is a founding father.
Yeah.
Simply Green, Sarah Hoyt actually did a couple of short runs of Barbarella Wish she'd kept on that and do more of that. I think it would have developed into a deep and complex universe. There you have it, guys. Yeah, we've got room to run here in the Iron Age. We've got
sure.
lots of room to run because we've got work like this being done. And there, I mean, this is such lovingly crafted stuff. I want to give a shout out, if I may, to Zeb, the writer, because you're always telling me, you know, that it's like, you know, and don't forget Zeb, because what you guys have crafted here is lovingly crafted. You know, the importance of story, the importance of the writing on it, but also it's an idea that's just boom, it just hits you. It's all the things you need from comics. You've got the team, you've got the characters that you can get to know, you know everybody's, you know, place on the team and what they do. It's not a lot of characters that you can easily confuse with one another, because it feels like when you look at the X-Men, you're like, that's Colossus, he's the muscle. There's Wolverine, he's the guy who's the outsider. He's the rogue. Here's, you know, depending on what
you can't say he's the rogue when you actually have Rogue. You can't do that.
No, but you look at Rogue and you go, she's the Wolverine, and you can, however you have to do it. There's Scott Summers, he's the Colossus. This has gone off the rails.
It really has.
It's Michael Deitch, it's great to see you, my friend. Don't sell a white wig short. You know, it works wonders. It does. They do. Nations are built on it. Yeah, the white mullet, baby. That's what it is, man. 100%. Hail the panel, hail the chat, big boy Robo. Hail to you, sir. It is great to see you. And welcome, Michael Deitch. It's great to see you, my friend. Even cast-off heavy weapons guy in the lion skin looks like he could be quite the character. Oh, yeah. The Scarecrow design, which we were looking at, I go, so you're basically choosing between, you know, very good options, great options, and you're going, which one of these great options do I want to go with?
I mean, really, that's kind of what it is. There were a lot of different iterations of the character, especially if you've been able to flip through that book. You've seen them, but that's part of the fun of character creation, is that iterative phase where you just sort of blue sky, just throwing spaghetti at the wall, seeing what sticks. I really enjoy that. I really like character design.
Do you have a favorite?
In Battle Road?
Yes, of course.
Lion.
Lion is really?
Yeah, he's my favorite design.
That's a trip, because I told you this, man. There is something there's something about Lion that I'm drawn to. And I don't know what it is yet, but that
probably the hair
you made. It's the hair. Yeah, but no, it's the decision with the face and the nobility of that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I keep going. To me, the character is very operatic. I think that's why I went to Victor Hugo. I went to Phantom of the Opera. I went to all of those things. It's because, and when you said Aragorn, I'm like, oh my God, I can see, the what's the name of the castle, the kingdom with the sailing ship point on it? Is it what is it? Minas
Gondor?
Minas
Tirith? Gondor? Minas Tirith is the city in Gondor.
Yeah, is it the one that comes out to a point where they have the tree or yeah. That to me is very Notre Dame. It's that epic, or the opera house. It's got that operatic quality to it. It's beautiful. Have you told us what's next, Sean? Nosferatu 2 or something else? Also, Eric, how many Battle Brick Roads in all? Ooh, there you go.
So in all, Battle Brick Road, as far as the main story goes, is 4 volumes. So this is volume 2. Each volume has 2 chapters. So there's 8 chapters total to tell the full story arc. But we want to do other mini stories in between as well. The first one that comes up is, Scarecrow is a big deal to a lot of people. They love his design. They love the character. They just got a teensy sneaky peek of him in the first book. And now what you're going to see is him basically unleashed off the chain, so to speak, in Battle Brick Road 2. And it's sort of a precursor for what we want to do with the character in like a cat spanker comic, like a floppy 20, 22, 25 pages, staple folded, like classic comic book. It's something that we definitely want to do. The the price has to be right because the artist that I want to do, that I want to work with, I wouldn't draw it. I'd hire him out while I work on book 3. We can do this one, and you know, that whole thing. He's rightfully expensive because he's worth it, but it would be a big expense, and just the money alone just to get him covered it's a big one. So we're gonna save away what we can with this one and hopefully move that into the next one. And I don't know where we're gonna land when we're ready to ship. You know, Battle Brick Road 2, where we're gonna land financially in terms of, you know, we're at 30K now. That's plenty to get the book ordered and out the door. So right now, we're basically all the orders that we're getting now are being able. That's the money that gets rolled into the next book and the next campaign and all of that other stuff to be able to pay other artists and all of that. So
yeah,
and paying
and
it
it's
forward stuff.
The next books I do are going to be the next book I work on is going to be different than the next projects I do, because I want to do something that I have the work for. So it's either going to be a second chance campaign, and I'm also thinking about collecting some of these paintings I've done into my next art book. But I want to show you guys how this stuff works. When you guys become channel members, when you guys send super chats, that stuff has direct consequences. It goes into brushes for me. It goes into paints. It goes into what I'm able to do. So this is a typical thing I'll do when I'm thinking about what are the possibilities. I had an idea of doing the next Nosfero story as a short story amongst 2 other short stories I wanted to do. And that was a book idea that I was calling the Hollow of Haunted Horror. And it was going to have a Nosfero story that I've talked about before. That's kind of the Headless Woodsman, as I call him, and a very swamp thingy kind of like character. And then it was also going to have the Jonas Frankenstein story and the Monster Rat Kin of Thulu story that I was thinking about doing. So it would have 2 other short stories. So this is the kind of thing I'm brainstorming about in terms of what I could do, and this is what it looks like when I brainstorm.
I gotta say, doesn't look as good as your other Nosfero book. Seems a little loose,
a little scribbly. It's a little scribbly, you know.
Amateur,
and it's gonna be finger painted, and it's life.
It's nothing. It's just hand turkeys the whole time. Yeah, nothing.
That's it. Hand turkeys. I love that, dude. So yeah, like we get to think about the coolest stuff because of you guys. You know what I mean? Because you guys fund this stuff. Like I would love to see. This is something I wanted to say to you before.
Not just because of you guys, but also for you guys.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, this is the craziest thing. What happens to these stories? Like when you guys back these comics, and it's going to be, I cannot wait to send you guys your Nosfero books. I've been wanting to share this with you guys forever. And that's why we, as you know, we put the money into these, to the print jobs, to everything we do that you guys back. And when I think about, like, I've got Nosfero's, proof. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I've got Nosfero's. Let me see if I can find it here. I love when Ethan was saying, "Is it Nosfero? Is it like me?" And I said, "Ethan, no, I'm not. This wasn't meant as a, an attack." But I haven't seen this cover in gloss yet, which is going to be the treatment on it. So those covers, you've got one of my books actually, Eric, so you know what I'm talking about. It's it's the sheen, and then it's the heavy stock of the paper. When you guys get these, this is a complete story. You're going to be able to read the thing, and that's what I'm interested in doing, because this handcrafted, this hand done painted stuff takes so much time. I want to make sure that when can't show that on stream. I love when I forget what's in there. But these things take a while to bring the monsters to life. And it helps when you have a great letterer. That is a major part of it. So
I highly recommend finding a professional letterer for all your comic book needs.
That's exactly right. And I want you guys to be, if you are not subscribed yet, by the way, could one of our mods put a link to Eric Weathers' YouTube channel? in here because I think that one of the coolest things Eric's doing is he's got a lot of stuff on there. He's got 2 videos on there already where he's going to be talking about his lettering process, because we've got to make sure. I think it was actually one of the things Eric July said a while back. He said it's not enough to be an alternative; we have to compete, and I think that that's huge. That aspect of competition. So when I'm here working on paintings, whether it's the head sketch for Julie or it's the painting I'm doing for Eric, and I'm working out the sketch process, my attitude when I'm doing this stuff is it's got to stop traffic, because we're indie creators, and indie creators really need to make sure that we are blowing them out of the water when we do this kind of stuff. Like, we've got to make this stuff so good,
Mm-hmm.
It's essential.
Look, if we weren't doing this, somebody else would, and they're not going to be as good as us,
Yep, 100%, without a doubt. They're not going to bring what we're doing here. That's the big thing. What's the over under on how many times Eric is the answer to the chat's trivia question tomorrow?
Hopefully at least once,
Yep.
I do have to point this out. 3rd year in a row.
Boom.
Last year I won the best letterer award from the chat.
That's what it is.
I got the gold star and everything. I was promised
Beautiful.
truck nuts, and all I got was this piece of paper with a gold sticker. So,
well, inflation, supply chains.
That's a good point.
That's all I'm going to say these days.
That's
my answer for everything.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, they won't be as good. I bet that's true. Yes, that's the biggest thing about it, is that when I see people, we had this conversation about, it was Valiant Renegade. That's where I was hearing this. And they were, or was it Valiant Renegade, or was it one of the other channels? I'm trying to think of which one it was, where they were talking about Disney, and it could have been WDW Pro. And he said, has creativity and imagination left the Walt Disney Company? Like, who's there? They got rid of all their longtime Imagineers. They got rid of all of those folks. And is that are they trapped in the situation to where you can't spend your way out of an imagination problem? And I don't know if you find this, but if I was going to give anybody advice in this space, I would say you've got to squeeze $1 out of every nickel. That's what you have to do. You got to get dollars and imagination out of it,
Yeah.
No trophy or prize money, says Steve Weathers. I love it. It should have been. It should have been a trophy and prize money. I agree.
It should have been.
Yeah.
Oh, well, but I'm very grateful for the certificate.
Yeah, there would have been an outcry instantly, by the way, if because people get very incensed about that kind of thing,
They do.
And it's such a fun thing to think about that poster book right now. I think that's the thing I'm most excited about, and I've excited about a lot of that stuff. Actually, have I backed the poster book? I think I have, but now I'm starting to worry if I have or not.
You might as well. You might as well do it again. You might as well.
Right, exactly, man.
You might as well. I'm trying to get to 30K tonight, anyway. So
yes, that's darn right.
Yeah,
that's the goal. Got to do it.
Yeah,
that is the goal. Look at this, man. Come on, guys. We got one more backer, and we're at 29.5. That is what it's about. I'm actually at the point now where I'm just like, what have I not backed yet? Like, what have I not backed?
What have you not backed? Also, what have you not backed a second time or even a third time?
A third or fourth time. Listen,
maybe I need to add. So that's the thing, is, do I need to add things? I don't want to like artificially, not that it's artificial, but I don't want to just inflate the campaign total. It's nice to see the high number. I did puzzles on the Kickstarter.
Yep.
I've talked about doing puzzles here. I haven't added them yet, but I could get that Roquefort puzzle again. Get my cover. Get the Kelsey Shannon cover as a puzzle. Would be pretty phenomenal, if I do say so myself. Yeah. So that would be something to do. I know Phil and Mike do these sketch cards that they add every week. They do another set of sketch cards. Yeah. And they were doing it during the main campaign, and there's really no time that's any better than any other time. So All those ideas are rushing around in my head. I think it's a good idea to maybe even put up some of the original pages from the first book that I have for sale as well. The ones that I want to get rid of. I don't even see. I understand the argument, and you're going to be on that side of the fence. Is you have original art, you're going to have something to sell. Into the secondary market.
He says to me as I don't sell my original artwork.
Yeah.
No.
Well, here's the deal.
No, I mean, I do sell head sketches. Yeah,
you do.
Yeah.
I don't like getting rid of the artwork that I've drawn. I really don't. So, like, if I've done it digitally, then I can't get rid of it. So I don't have to be afraid of that. Also, the argument kind of works. So, like, you're leaving money on the table. It's like, yeah, kind of, right? So you can sell your original page for, I don't know, $500 or $1,000. That's the one time you're going to get extra money out of that thing. And then they're going to turn around and sell it in 10 years for like double that, triple that, 10 times that. And that doesn't, good for them, I guess. That doesn't help me any,
Yep.
So
yeah, I mean,
I guess it could help a little bit because people see, pages going for that much and they think, oh, wow, what am I missing out on? But yeah, it's like, I guess you could do Kenneth Roquefort, not sell anything, but keep it all. And then someday you just let one go and it goes for, however much. So.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to originals, I will tell you this is the biggest plus for originals is I sell the originals of the pieces I do for commission. So the creators or the people who commission me to do the piece have a right of first refusal. So Razor Fist has a right of first refusal on the Ghost of the Badlands painting. What's crazy is because so few people are doing original artwork, sometimes the original artwork I do is really the only accessible, fully colorized all the way through original done by some of these projects. Like, I don't know if there's, I think Razor Fist might be hiring another painter or illustrator to do something for it. But this, is going to be, I think this might be one of the first and one of the few, which is such a wild thing to think about for that, because it's largely digital.
Yeah.
The problem with that is you can't take the money, money today, or you can't. I love you're working and reading better than I am. The problem with that is that you can take that money today and put it into something that might have a better return. That's absolutely true. That's right. Yep, that is true. Happy Friday. Thank you, Cranberry Langers, channel member Rockstar. It is great to see you. So I think it depends on what you do with the sale. Yep. And for me, it's just going straight into quarter scale Ninja Turtles action figures. So I don't.
Oh, be still my heart.
I know. It's great stuff. Yes. And happy Friday to all. I hope everybody's had a great work day.
One thing for Christmas.
Yes.
I mean, it's a big ask, right? It's a huge ask. But all those 1991 TMNT, all 4 of them, I don't need. I don't need the special edition ones. I don't need Raph in the trench coat. I don't need that.
But you wouldn't say no.
I wouldn't say no, but I mean, they're like 14 inches tall. They're enormous and they're fully articulate, and they are my Ninja Turtles, my quintessential Ninja Turtle, and they would go right here, each one under their own portrait. There's something about that, like you pointed this out a long time ago.
Yeah,
is I like teams. I like working on it in a team. I like team books, like Flying Fortress was a team book. Battlebrick Road is a team book. Ninja Turtles teams. I grew up reading the X-Men and all of that. So I don't like that. I don't like the solo guy just being the superhero or being the, whatever, like the Spider-Man or whatever. I like that interplay of a team. And I think that the irony in that is in real life, I just want to be left alone. So maybe I'm just living vicariously, but like, that's what it's like to have friends. You get to fight crime together. So who knows?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's when I think about in terms of painting and the stuff that I do, I think that what I write and what I draw kind of lends itself to how I approach the work. And I'm fascinated by team books for that reason. Like when I look at team books, because it's not what I typically do, I find it really engaging. Man, you know, it's yeah, you got to have the banter, says Metal Movies and Brewskis. 100%
Yeah.
correct, man. Let's see here. So I will have you know that I made sure that I'm going to be getting that poster book a few moments ago. So I want to see if when we
Did you
update it,
now?
I might have. I might
Oh my
have.
goodness.
I want to see if when we update it, what happens.
Oh, hopefully the number goes up.
Wouldn't it be awful if it drops $1,000? What button
Oh
did
my
I push?
goodness.
So let me
It's
get this.
all your fault.
I know exactly. That would be tragic and humiliating for all the justifiable reasons. So let me see if I can
Mhm.
get this on screen here. We're going to add this to the stage, as Christopher Walken would say, and let's see what happens.
Drum roll. Oh, I went in slow motion there for a second.
Boom.
Less than
Guys.
$500 away from $30,000, unlocking that new Lion trading card stretch goal.
It's a
I
thing
think
of
that actually,
beauty.
once we do this, the next stretch goal announcement is the fan art contest.
Dude,
So
it must happen.
that's going to be fun, and that'll be something that we're going to have entries. Entries are going to be able to go for a while. I don't have a huge time crunch on it. But when we do officially get the rules and all of that, the dates and all that, we'll make that announcement for sure. But there will be, top 3 winners. You're going to get money if you win, if you make the podium. And number 1, you're going to get in that print book alongside artists like Shant and Irene and Chad Townsend and Jose Garcia and all of that. So that you'll be in a place of prominence in somebody's collection. It's a great opportunity to 1, make some money, and 2, get your artwork out there.
Yeah, I mean, and we've been really good about doing that. I think that fostering new talent has probably been the biggest shortcoming of a lot of what the mainstream has done. And I don't say that in a sense of, we don't need to focus on them any more than, they've got happening. But I think that they haven't focused on developing new talent, and they haven't focused on, frankly, the imagination part of it. Everything feels so completely, I don't want to say corporatized, but it feels very staid. It feels very dry. And when we paint things, I was sketching and I was looking at, I was looking at different things today for this story. And one of the ones I kept coming back to, again, I don't know where this stuff is going to go, but I'd rather do, exploration sketches and have them, so I have more to edit from when I'm doing my work. But I've been really thinking about how much I like, of course, the flying gorillas. And I would love to know more about them. And their anatomy. So they have the bat wings, correct?
Yes, they do. They have leather wings. And again, going back to that discussion we had a little while ago about character designs, how do you make that stand out, and how do you make it, again, your own? And that's one of those things where it's like, well, I want to make them terrifying. I don't want to make them super, at least not right out of the gate. I don't want to make them super high tech or anything. I mean, the flying monkeys themselves are high tech, which you'll see a metallic winged flying monkey in Battle Brick Road 2. You got to see just a hint of it in the first one, just sort of a background character. But they're creations of the Watcher of the Watcher of the West. She's a witchy woman. She's an evil woman, and an evil AI woman, as all we know. All AI is evil at this point.
Yep.
And she uses her power to create monstrous things, and she created an army of beasts, up to and including flying apes and flying simians, and those are the frontline soldiers. Those are the pawns that she sends.
For now and again, I need to get myself some reference. I always try to keep some reference nearby. Yeah. And this right here is one of my favorite bits of reference. It's from this Rebor studio, and it's sculpted by this guy, Tomek. I think his name is Redziewicz, I think, if I pronounce it correctly. and he does fantastic chimps, apes, and gorillas. And this is the maquette I use to kind of get my understanding of. Look at that fur sculpt, by the way.
I could have used that.
Dude, I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm just curious. I have to look this up now because you said that. I just want to see what that is because oh my god, dude. No, I gotta share this. Sorry, this
What?
sorry, this is cracking me up, dude. It's gotta happen. Here we go. This is I'm gonna share with you the homepage of Big Bad Toy Store right now as we speak.
You shut up.
Listen,
Oh
guys.
my goodness. Merry Christmas that to me.
Guys,
Just not the I don't need the babies, but if they come as little babies,
they probably come with them. At this, I have a bad feeling if I click on this could take us some places.
Take us down.
Yeah, I've been watching that. Yeah, Peter Jackson's
they're all
Kong
back in.
is-
Oh my goodness, they're all back in stock.
I'm not saying this is a sign that you'd be on my stream and I'm one of the biggest pushers of this, but you know,
so much money.
it is a lot of money. That is true. That is absolutely true.
Oh, it's so good.
But these re-releases happen but once every 5 or 6 years. And do we want to come back and see pre-orders sold out? I mean, look, I have 2 kids. I can always sell one. You have to think about
You gotta hurry because they're 18 now. They're gonna be able to escape a little easier. I'm the one with kids that are of selling age. That actually went kind of dark. I regret saying that.
Let me tell you this right now. Mine are 18, and I think before their 17th birthday, they'd already tried to poison me 3 times. So you've got to really plan now. You know, you've got to really keep one eye open. Now, look, this was not intentional. To the chat who is giving me a hard time, okay? This was not intentional. I had no way of knowing that when I clicked on this site that the top #1 thing they were going to be advertising was, in fact, the quarter-scale Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the film were all available for pre-order. How would I have known that? I didn't. But now it's caused harm and pain in this world, and unfortunately, sometimes that's what happens in our actions.
Heartache. I mean, it's all there.
Heartache.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so sorry, dude. I did not mean for this to happen. Guys, please back Battle Brick Road. And by the way, if something does happen to me unexpected, do please say that possibly Eric's wife may have been involved in the accident that I have. I just want to throw that out there as a base coat. I want to keep myself alive, you know. To the best of my ability.
I have been working, tinkering on some. Right now, it's just a sketch, and I want to toy with it some more. But I've been working on a Ninja Turtle painting, and if I had this for the reference, you know what I'm saying? I could get lighting on it. We've got LED colored lights that I could put. I could put lighting on it. It'd be great. It would just be great.
Listen,
But
can I just say this? I have often found. No, listen. It's not just Ninja Turtles are not just for the day you buy them; they're for life. First of all, a lot of people don't realize
That's a good
that.
point. They are for life.
And I also want to say this, man. And it's a write-off, but I have felt, and many have said, the difference between you having 1 million subscribers and not having 1 million subscribers really comes down to the set. And people feel as though many, I've heard, I can't give you names, but I've definitely been hearing it in my head, have said that if there were 4 quarter-scale Ninja Turtles back there, their confidence, their enthusiasm would go up. Guys, please, somebody back and put your backer name in the chat because I'm going to get in so much trouble. I can actually see a bright light. It could be actually, I think it's my desk lamp. But my point is that there's a potential danger here because of all of this. Yeah, tax write-off if you use the figures in your work. Agreed.
Yeah, I know. I just need the money already. You know, it's funny
Michael Deitch has joined me in being an enabler, and I love that about you, Michael. I love that about you, man.
You son of a gun.
I swear I had no idea I go to this site all the time, and I did not have a single clue that such a catastrophe would befall me when I went here. It's tragic. I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt if we click on them and just sort of see what they're about. I mean, what would be the big problem of just taking a look and
Stop it.
seeing the level of detail? I mean, because, ultimately they can't be that. Oh, wow, they're really detailed. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's not like, wow, look at that, cloth headbands. Incredible.
Yeah. I know.
That's tough.
I know.
And I mean,
Yeah.
you don't want to, it's like you don't want to put pressure on the people in your life that you care about. You don't want to lead them down bad roads.
Mhm.
You just want to.
You want to lead them down battle brick roads.
That's right, you do. Oh, dear. So hold on a second, guys. Here's my question. I have a question. Now, as far as I know, that I have heard rumors. I don't know how much he spent, but and by the way, Ethan, hit me up, man, if you're going to do this. I think he has my address somewhere. That he sends McDonald's and DoorDash and Taco Bell to people.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of a mensch would Ethan be if he DoorDashed, sort of, these 4 Ninja Turtles figures to Eric Weathers? I think that's something that should happen.
I think, I would not turn them away.
Just saying. It's like Michael Deach. Dang, now I want the infernal things.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Does
It's
it say
bad.
when? April 2024. Okay.
Yep. And on Big Bad Toy Store, by the way, I will tell you this.
I got time to save.
When they announce these things, right? And I think, and actually, what am I saying? I don't know if I've mentioned this to you, but if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. What does it say? I'm not trying to get us in trouble here. By the way, just tell Candace not to watch this stream, and if she's watching it, Candace, see it.
Oh, don't worry. She can't stand you. She would never watch this stream.
I didn't think she would. I didn't think she would. I can barely stand me. But I don't think they charge you for a pre-order. But I do know. In fact, I'm almost positive. Or actually, maybe I'm not. You should look into that. But I do think like they have a I mean, you can refund it, but you may want to look into that. But I do know their pre-orders have been known to sell out. So it could be something, to ponder. Just to ponder. But we're not doing this now. I mean, they just put this up. So I think NECA likes money, I've heard. So I think they're gonna, until they lose the license. Oh my gosh, Michael is like, look, this is descending into madness. I used to like Leo the least when I was a kid. Now you are 100% Leo. And by the way, it's because you like blue. There's no getting around it. Mm-hmm.
Shant?
Yes.
Scroll down just 2 inches. And on the right-hand side, it says pre-order notes.
Oh, there we go. Why don't we do this, Eric? If you change your mind tomorrow morning, you have till April. Just pre-order them. Just lock it in.
I probably should.
You should pre-order and lock it in, and then you can always cancel it.
I can cancel it until ship day.
I'm going to be murdered before dawn. It's going to be like a Night of the Living Dead, one of those movies, Dead by Dawn. Is going to be the subcategory of this stream.
The only thing I'm hearing is please back Battle Brick Road.
Please,
not to say that the money from the books from the campaign goes to me buying these, but it's one of those things where it's like, honey, why did you spend $500 on Ninja Turtle dolls? It's like, yes, but listen, we got 30K on Battle Brick Road, so
That's right. Few days later, new cover. That's 100% right. Yes, man.
Yeah.
Yes. I will tell you this, man. We're talking about this. We're being reasonable here. I think we're being 2 very reasonable grown men talking about toys from a financial perspective. I just want to be really clear about this. But here's something I want to also point out, guys. Let me make sure I get to it first here, and then we'll go from there. Where is it? Heavens to Betsy. There we go. So let us talk turkey, as they say. One of the things that I am incredibly excited about is the fact that we have got the opportunity. Let me remove this for just a moment before I'm taken out, clotheslined. But let me see here. Stop screen, present, share screen, and I want to share this right here, guys. So this is something I want to also talk about tonight because this is big. So this is Eric's YouTube channel right here. And if you guys are looking, Eric is looking to do more videos with his copious amounts of time on lettering comics, how to letter comics, and also really doing more streams over there. But the biggest thing I'm excited about are these lettering videos. And the thing is that channel memberships have a huge impact. So if any of you guys are interested in becoming channel members of this channel, please consider doing that.
I'd have to turn on channel memberships first.
You've got to do it, man. So it's not even turned on?
I don't have it turned on. Well, I don't stream. I never did anything with it. So it's like, why do I have memberships on? I can turn them on. But
can you turn them on?
Yeah, sure. I'll turn them on.
Because it's a way for those of us who want to support you, Eric, to support you. And it's also a way of guilt.
You can guilt me into anything. You know, it's funny. We were having that conversation. I'm like, you should dive in. I should dive into this. Just head first.
Yes.
Make this my YouTube content because I don't love to live stream, but I can make videos and I can be entertaining.
Yes.
I think I can put on the song and dance every once in a while.
That's right.
My kids, I have a television in my office and they'll sit and watch while I'm working. And what is this about? The youngest is watching this YouTube channel of a guy I'd never seen this before, and it's one of those things. It's like, I see what you're doing up there. This graphic designer called Brandon Shepard. And if you're not familiar with his channel, for anybody not familiar with his channel, he'll take regular like soda cans and bags of chips and all this Starbucks coffees, and he'll redesign the packaging just there on that's the video. So it'll be like, let's make, one we just watched was let's make Captain Crunch cereal look like it was a health cereal, and he redesigns everything. Or let's a lot of logos have turned to be very simple these days. He's like, let's turn it back to the way it was. It was really extravagant. So like a Pringles can that's just like the white face and the mustache into like this whole character. But the what you were talking about is people want to see you working. Is he has that green screen thing where he's in the bottom corner, kind of like I am right here, green screened out, and he's talking about everything he's doing. And it was just one of those things like, okay, that could be how I do it. Because I've always been wondering how to make it work. How like visually how the website, how the video should go. And I
got something on my glasses. So could you read this comment for me, because my glasses are all messed up?
He says, I see it less as a donation and more like modern patronage.
So did you already have tiers planned out back when you set up memberships, or have you never set up memberships?
I never set it up.
Oh my goodness. We are going to have to do.
Do I need to do this right now?
It takes a little bit of time to set it up. I mean, you can do it, actually. Please do. But I am ready to be the first member. I'm in there. I think other people are too. But we could also do a membership launch stream. That could be cool too. What do you think? Let's plan that.
Okay. How many levels do I need to have? I don't know.
You can have many. I have one level. I have one level, but then there's badges for if you get to different, levels.
We got to have a splort badge, right? We got to have a splort badge.
Got to have a splort badge. You got to have custom emojis. I would love to help you with this too, by the way, because I know your time is crazy. And I've got all these little templates of how big everything has to be. Fritzy Schnitzel. By the way, Fritzy Schnitzel, I have to tell you this. I'm a fourth Austrian. I grew up eating schnitzel, so that always makes me feel great. I used to have schnitzel with gorkies, little cucumbers on the side, and then of course potatoes, and it was delicious to die for. $5 is standard, 100%.
All right. You
Michael Deach, I rock with Michael Deach. That's who I rock and roll with. Do you understand? Because this man has my back. He is pro Ninja Turtles. He says, yes, build that channel. Done.
Okay. Well, I build a channel. Okay, are we doing to do like a commercial break here? Because I need a commercial break, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, take a commercial break. I'm going to keep going. I want to talk to these guys. You take
right.
a commercial break. You may leave and come back if you want to. You're good either way.
We'll see.
I got you, dog. So yes, indeed. I agree, Michael Deach. Definitely we want to build this channel out because this is the thing, right? We were talking today, and Michael is here, and channel member Michael Bancroft. It is great to see you, brother. Thank you for supporting this channel. And thank you for all the awesome work you're doing, man. Feel free to pop in, but I know you just finished, I think, streaming a couple hours ago. You may even have another stream to do as well tonight. I don't know how many streams you're doing a day, man. It's a lot, I'm sure. Not to mention all the work, man. And I've been painting like a maniac on the Lucent, so I'm having a great time, dude. Thank you again for that opportunity. So let me do this. Let me do this, folks. Not to make my face larger, because that's absolutely terrifying. But let me show you guys a little bit more of what I'm doing here with this gorilla, man. It's crazy. Green Laser just found this. So, of course, you have been on for 2 hours. Yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm wrapping up, man. And we are promoting Battle Brick Road 2, by the way, which is almost to 30K. It's so close. I'll be honest. I'm cheap. I went to be a member on Eric July's channel, and I find out that junior auxiliary member doesn't get anything, and I got sort of annoyed and unsubbed. I back books. There you go. Right on. Right on. But if membership is normal and reasonable, I might start again once I find a job. 100%, Julie. And much love. Hello, everyone. Hello. It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. It is fantastic to see you here. I hope you are doing well. Yeah, guys, when it comes to these streams, I did a pre-recorded video the other day, which I had a blast doing. I hope you guys have seen it. I'm going to be doing more painting. I'm probably doing more on this channel now than I have in the last couple of months because Nosfero is going to be coming in. I'm going to be doing a stream when that... Oh, man, I'm hoping they can get that into the driveway in a decent place because it is... the woman who is handling the delivery from the Rhode Island... what's it called? Pallet. You know, they ship the pallets there, then they bring them out to the locations. Goes, it's 600 pounds, and I went 600 pounds of books.
I don't even know.
Like,
I'm back, by the way. I don't even know what my shipments were because when we got Flying Fortress, it wasn't on a pallet.
Yep.
The UPS guy was like parked out on the street, and we just hauled in. Like we backed my car up, and we just hauled him into the back of my car and drove him up to the house. And then with Battle Brick Road, our orders were, it's just from the printer were just coming in at a snail's pace, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we ironed out all those kinks, which is nice.
I
don't know what that stuff weighed.
It was when they told me that this is our first delivery on a pallet because it's a massive, massive order. And I think I've said before, they were so happy with the book and the way the book came out. They wanted to use it in their advertising. So that made me feel, great about what we're doing here in CG and everything like that. What we're doing as independent creators, because I think that we are producing some of the most high quality stuff that you're going to find, out there in this space. And so it's incredibly cool. And so, and Michael was saying I should call that up because it's big, man. And thank you, Courtney. I appreciate it. The T-shirts I'm doing right now, they're coming out so great. I just got I got the Waffle Lodge, Late Night Waffle Lodge shirt, and the detailing on the waffle that's like an old vintage illustration came out beautifully. And Michael says, I don't say it enough, but memberships make a huge difference month to month. It really is so appreciated. And I view it as patronage. It's a big thing.
Okay. So I'm in the back end right now. I'm trying to set this up here. Yeah, man. And $5 is pretty much, I think, what most people do is they're I just have one tier. What do you offer?
I offer custom emojis. I offer Oh my gosh, I do members posts from time to time, but then also the biggest thing is I have, and I love doing this. I don't think everybody has to do this, but as you know, at the end of every stream, I have the name of all of
Yeah.
my channel members. And when I do
Yeah.
videos, like if we look at this video I did, I'll call this up because these are great questions, Eric. These are great questions. When I do videos, and let's see if I can find this here that are even if they're the sort of like 20-minute pre-recorded here. Let me see if I can put this on. Boy, that's me before my haircut. That's just the other day. That's really funny. But let me see here. Add to stage, and I'll show you what I mean. But when I get to, I don't know if you're going to hear audio. Hopefully you won't, because it's probably horrendous. But when you get to the end of all of my videos that I do and my live streams, including this one, if you're a channel member, you get this, your name, and I update this every time I get new members. You get your name in the credits, and it says, most importantly, of course, it says made possible by. That is a big thing for me. I saw Echo Based Network, those guys who go back to, I think, the Star Wars Celebration meetup way back in the day. And I think Nick started his YouTube channel shortly after that. Those guys were at the bar they met up at. And I think it's just really important for people to know these guys' names. So every time I stream, I put my channel members there because they're the people who are paying for the party. And then I also do, sometimes I do posts for my channel members, in addition to the custom emojis and the badges, where I'll show them really high res photos of my artwork in progress. So they can they get a better view of things than Twitter will allow and other places will allow. So that's a huge part of what I do.
Okay. So now I need to name my level. I mean, Mike's got the bogans, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
What do I call like my little nimbus clouds? What do we?
Mine are.
What do we do?
Mine are crypt walkers. That's my tier. So I always thought that was fun. I wouldn't mind. Oh, see, the tough thing is because we've got the men and the ladies, but Battle Brick Bros would not be a bad
That's true.
level, for your group. It's because you've got that. I mean, because Battle Brick Road is the thing, right?
Yeah. Well, if I do, like, I'm gonna be focusing more on lettering in general. Eventually, the Battle Brick Road will come to an end. Eventually, it'll be done, but I can still be making, lettering content. So I could do like Men of Letters or something like that. The Battle Brick Bros. I mean, you can always change it, I suppose.
You can,
but
Battle Brick Bros. It is, says Michael Bancroft. He likes it because you can always change the name, right? Okay. You can always change the name.
I think it's one of those things that needs to happen organically, and I think Battle Brick Bros. Sort of is one of those things that did.
Yep.
So you can change it later. I'll just go ahead and say Battle Brick Bros. And if a lady, doesn't,
it's going to make me happy.
Yeah, if a lady doesn't want to join because they don't want to be a bro, well then that's that's okay. We'll just have to get another bro instead.
It's 2023, man. Not all bros are men.
That's a good point.
Julie Pascal, chances are that the women who follow and back you will be amused by the obvious way that it's going to go for females. Yes, I hear you. Yes, indeed. I know. Well, let me tell you this, Julie. You'll love this. My daughter's generation, she calls everybody bro. They call each other bro. They're like, come on, bro. And she has this classmate who is Pakistani. And they cracked her up one day because she's like, did you study for this test? Or I forgot to study for this test. And the student turned to her and went, come on, bro. I just died. I was like, everyone's doing it. Yes, the flying monkeys, says Michael Deach.
That's a good one.
Different type of party.
I could call you my little pretties.
Yeah, that would get probably more ladies, and guys would feel a little awkward. Any lady that doesn't want to be a bro was never bro material.
That will be the one, if we add other levels. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or just charge, like, if you want that female pronoun, it's $15.
Okay, it's officially in review, by the way.
It's in review, guys.
Yep.
It's in review. And then we're going to be doing on either Eric's channel, and I will be there. You let me know. or on my channel, I want to do a channel member drive. It would be so great. You know,
Okay.
my friends have a broadcast. I love it. That's beautiful. Battle Brick
That's
Broads. You should have
Yeah.
an option that's the same price that's Battle Brick Broads.
Men and women, and then the
would be
emojis are different
so
colors
great.
depending on your.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would be hilarious, man. Bruh, us the
Battle Brick
modern
Bros
yeah,
and-
bruh,
and
us the
Battle
modern
Brick-
dude.
Battle Brick
God.
Babes.
Woohoo! Yeah, Julie had to endure me when I was gonna pitch and show the sketch that I'm working on for the first time. I kept saying, over and over again, I was like, I've got something to show you. Oh, Julie. And then, of course, the whole chat was like, oh, Julie. It got out of hand, man. You know how it is in the chat.
Yeah.
As Eric, not as Eric July or Eric Weathers would say, but as my man, my God, Jericho Green would say, you know how it goes. But look, guys, this channel, if you are not subbed to this channel, by the way, why in heaven's sake not? And if you are, we've got to do this. We should do it on Mike's channel. He's got a huge audience. Your mind is too respectful to even think it, Sean. That's right. Yes, I know. You know how I am. Battle Brick Broads is actually fantastic. Agreed, Caffeinated Wolf. We would not bro in that bro's company that fears his fellowship to bro with us.
This is amazing stuff.
You gotta love. Listen, guys. I'm gonna tell you this, man. When I see folks, and I do see folks every now and again, but when I see folks and I get it. People get down. Sometimes people get inside of their own heads a little too much, and they need to just put some positivity. That's why I was talking about imagination and the fuel of inspiration, all of that kind of stuff. I love this space. I have the best time in this space. And I think that, like a lot of things, you can curate your experience to either be miserable or to be happy. And you guys coming in here and supporting this channel and supporting Eric, and thank you guys so much for continuing to back Battle Brick Road and all of that stuff. You guys really inspire me, and you really make me feel positive. And I think, how can I not feel positive and inspired with you guys around? Because this is the crazy thing, Eric, and this goes to what you and I were talking about earlier on your stream and afterwards. I want to be a channel member because it's a way for me to express my values and my enthusiasm for what you're doing. And because I know it goes, as long as it's going to your house and not being funneled to Michael Bancroft, like so many of these memberships are, that's what it's for. It's to support you in the stuff that you're doing. I mean,
okay. I hear you.
I'm going to now move into the profanity port. No, I'm going. Go ahead.
Well,
Eric.
I'll just say this. I guess the membership thing was approved, and I have a button now that says turn on. I already have emojis because I would build emojis for Twitch. There's a Splort emoji, there's a mullet emoji, there's an Uncle Carl emoji, and there's just my logo EW emoji. I don't have badges. I can do those later, but do I hit turn on? Am I going to turn?
Yes, you have to turn it on.
I have to turn it on. Let's see what happens
and see if it works.
See if it works. You're ready to start welcoming new members to your channel. All right, you're gonna turn me on. I feel like there should be a countdown video.
There should be a countdown video.
There, I did it.
There it is, guys. There it is. We have to figure out, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm just like, what do I even have here? Hold on a second. Like, I feel like I need a video for this.
I know it needs something.
I'm looking for something. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to upload something. Guys, memberships have been activated. They have been turned on, so to speak. Okay? They've been turned on, so to speak. And I need a video that speaks to why you should become a channel member of his channel. I need that. I don't know what I would say or who. Let's see. Like, what can we do here? Because I have so many options of things I could do, but I think I'm gonna have to go with this one.
Hey, homie, that's not from the book. That lettering is not from the book.
What's that lettering from?
I don't know. Somebody was probably being snarky. This isn't from the book. Hey, homie, you disrespecting the great Eric Weathers, man. Do you not understand how silly you look right now? I'm a jackass for disrespecting the great Eric Weathers, man. Like, seriously.
I will misfall on that.
All right. All right, cool.
You just
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
There it is, folks. There it is. Okay? Don't ever disrespect
Come on, bro.
the great Eric Weathers. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I mean, you got to do it, guys. You got to respect the great Eric Weathers.
Here's a question. If I have the 4 Ninja Turtles in my shopping cart right now,
Yeah, you got to buy them, man.
do I go ahead and add the extra $50 to get the baby Ninja Turtles as well?
Yes, to me that is just financial common sense. I don't know why I have to tell you this.
Okay. All right.
I mean, for heaven's sake.
Shanti, you are a
drug pusher.
You're a good influence on me. I really appreciate all that you've done.
This is what I've done. That's right. And for every dollar I earn you, I will make sure I cost you 4.
That's, you know what? That just warms my heart to hear you say that.
It does, because it's one love. It's one love. Okay, people. It's one love, just like the song. I've been a member for 0 days, but I am now a member of your channel. Boom.
No, you're not. Shut up.
Yep, I'm a member. If you're a member of the channel, yeah, Shanth is an enabler. It took you this long to figure it out? Come on. Come on, bro. Yeah, people are just kind of like going, oh my God, why do I have this needle here? Yeah, that's me. I'm an enabler. I am now a member. I may be the first member. Hopefully I'm not the second member of this channel, but I am a member of Eric Weathers' channel. So make sure that you are, if you so desire, if you want to support the most, like he's a keystone in Comicsgate and in the Iron Age space. You remove Eric Weathers and the arch collapses. Do you people understand? And again, his wife is so close to murdering me in the future. You need to support Eric Weathers. All right? Because very frail.
Do it for Shant's help.
It's true. It works. Just thank me for being a member. Michael Deach is a member as well, brother. Yes, I'm with you, man. Let's go. Let's go. If Eric starts regularly streaming, I pledge to become a Battle Brick Bro. That's not good enough.
Oh my goodness. That's not good enough.
I
mean that in the best way.
He's gonna do it. No, I think you should become a member and go, now you have to stream regularly. You promised. Will you promise, Eric? Are you here to promise that you will start making? Okay, it's regular.
I will stream more. Now let me ask you. I see two members. And one name's at the top and one name's below it.
The number below it is the first.
The number below it is the first. The number at the bottom is the first one.
Yes.
What we need is a third one, and then I'll know.
Then you'll know. We need a third member. You know what's funny is I've always thought of you and Michael Bancroft as friends. Now I'm kind of not sure. So we'll know in a few minutes.
Yeah.
We'll know in a few minutes.
That's fair.
Because let me tell you this. We talk about having families. I mean, sometimes. And we talk about how this stuff, oh my goodness. Shanth enabled this super chat. Timmy Mello, you rock star, you channel member, you super genius. I love you. You're great. You're amazing. These cheerleaders are for you. Charge! Booyah. There it is, folks. There it is. Yeah, guys, I want to see those memberships jump because I like seeing good things happen to good people. And when we talked to my wife, I said to her one time, I go, I got to go stream, babe. I got to go stream. And she said to me this, and I'm telling you guys, I appreciate this so much. She said, I know it's a part of your job. It's a big part of the job and the work that you do. And it really is. And she said to me one time, she goes, and it was, oh my God, it was so great. She goes, we just got, it's saying we got paid from Google instead of paying Google in this one. And I said, yes, that's my channel members. Those are my super chats. And again, thank you, Timmy Mello. I appreciate it so much on both of those counts. And I said, when you see those people's names in the credits, they are the people who are making this possible, that are making this work we do possible. And it's just wonderful, man. It's just wonderful. I smell treason in Australia, says Michael Deach. I mean, listen, yeah, there's a lot of you know, because of the Hemsworth brothers being there, they have a lot of bushfires now. So it's something to be careful about. Brandon Spicer says, "Come see me. I want to do Battle Brick Road decals and maybe a car wrap." Oh, Brandon Spicer.
Brandon, you do that? So Brandon, I went to high school with Brandon.
There it is.
You do that, dude? Can I be honest with you? My car is a piece of junk, and it needs a new paint job. I thought, what if I just got it vinyl wrapped instead?
Dude, can we make it happen?
You work at E-Graphics?
I work at E-Graphics. Come on now. Come on,
okay.
bro. Come on, bro.
Okay. See,
thank you, Tim. God bless you.
This is information I needed, that I definitely need.
Don't let me down, Weathers. This is Michael Bancroft.
Oh my goodness, I know what that means. I know what that means. Mike, I'm not going to let you down. And to answer your question, Sean, the bottom one is number 1.
That is right.
Michael Deachy is number 1.
Dang it!
The original. You tried.
The original. You have to, you have to call him out now every stream. I always say, man, whenever I'm streaming, Stephen Rockwood Drawing is number 1, and then I go through all of my. When I do the credits, it's in order of when you became a channel member. So I always make sure I do my credits where everybody in order of how long they've been there is the case. It's got to be tax deductible. Come on now. Oh my God, that would be really, really cool. The car idea is fantastic. And Michael, because you become a channel member, because Michael Deach became the first channel member, I owe you guys 2 of these, and I had forgotten. So here you go.
Charge!
That's a 1.
Charge!
For any of you guys who don't know who we're talking about today, I got to make sure I hit this one.
Charge!
Boom.
That's me.
That's right, man. So now let's we're not including super chats, which of course are another factor of this. But now one of the things I love about my channel members, I love many things about them, is that now there is that is revenue that you're seeing that is a great inspiration for doing things like, if you guys look at this background, when you send super chats to this channel now, because I was going with this whole will the real Martian please stand up theme when I did the Waffle Lodge Diner, you can now see that all of those characters in the background blink, and the old man in the hat who's closest to us here, he turns his head and changes his expression when you see the cheerleaders. And these are all things I put into the content of making this a fun place for us to hang out. And of course, it's about moving books, and it's about, helping out these great people that are my friends, like Eric Weathers, who does this incredible work for me on Nosfero, does incredible work for, on his own book and the stuff that he does with Zeb. That's some of the coolest stuff that you're going to see, out in the space. And so I get that chance to kind of have him come in here and have him do these things. And look at how close we are to 30K, guys. Look at how beautiful this is, man. We are so close because of you guys, because of the work that you guys are doing on this campaign. It's so exciting, man. And I love it, man. This is the fun. Haven't you missed this, man? I love it. I missed it. I missed it.
I have. But Brandon, you got. I'm looking at the raps you guys do. Yeah.
The lead designer is Brandon Spicer. Yeah. Excellent.
That's
excellent.
The thing. In school, middle school and high school, Brandon and I it was just us that drew all the time.
The artist boys, right?
And Andrew Walker as well. I was a co-creator of Flying Fortress. And I remember, come on, 30,000. I want more stuff, says Brandon.
That's right, man.
I remember Brandon figuring out, I don't know how you figured it out, whatever, whether it was you got it from somewhere or whatever, but the way that you drew dinosaurs when we were younger is the way that I stole it. I absolutely stole it because I loved the way it made sense to me. It spoke to me. I need,
There it
you
is.
know what? Here I'm making plans in real life. We're gonna get together, and I'll have Andrew Walker there. We'll make it happen.
There it is.
Yep.
Look at this, man. See, this is the craziest thing. So, and I was telling my kids about this. I go, guys, this you can use these spaces for anything you want to. You can turn them into anything you want to. But for me, I've got friends on the other side of the planet. I've got friends across the country, and we hang out. And whenever we do these streams, it's like, we never miss a beat. We get together, we hang out, we do this stuff, and we promote books, and we promote what we're doing here. And I hope that this stuff adds to your enjoyment. This adds to your enjoyment of your evening, of your Friday. If you're kicking back, if you've been in the stream and you've gone to the places you come back, I hope it's fun to see us hanging out, because, to stream this much in terms of, doing a couple of hours of streaming, you as you guys know, you can't really fake it. You got to really mean it. You really can't BS and not enjoy the people you're with in that kind of time. So JWK Create says, Eric, what made you want to tell this story in particular with Battle Brick Road? Great question.
I have no idea.
Love it.
No, there's a bit of a story to the story. By the way, Shanta, I am sharing my screen, but hang on a second until
Okay, I'll wait.
Get to it. Let me answer this. So there's a bit of a story to the story. I had just finished 2016. I had wrapped up Flying Fortress, which was my first comic book, and I was kind of out of comics. I wanted to do other things, so I started painting and all of that. And in the process of learning to paint and thinking, I'll build a concept art portfolio and just shop it around, see if I can get some concept art done. One of the prompts that I don't remember where it came from, but it was one of the things you can do to make a thing. And I was thinking about doing something like the Skillful Huntsman, like making character designs, prop designs, put it all in a book. That was my idea. If you guys don't know what the Skillful Huntsman is, it's just that. It's an art teacher who gave this project to 4 of his art students, and they would come up with designs for this imaginary universe that they would just come up with, and they turn it into a book. And it's a whole, basically a how-to on how to design an entire world, an entire project. And so I thought, well, I can do that. I want to do that. So I started that process with designing these characters, and one of the prompts was take 2 things that don't belong together and put them together and make them work. And I really, I wanted to do concept art for games. So I was building this idea of what a game would be. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if you took the characters from Wizard of Oz and made them like a first or third person shooter, like The Division, Division. And that was the seed that was planted. And I started doing these designs and thinking, this is actually pretty cool. There's something here. So I was fleshing it out. And in the process of coming up with that idea, I was watching a concept artist and illustrator that I like a lot on a live stream. And his name's Dave Raposa. His artwork, What Graces the Wall Behind Me.
Yeah, those beautiful.
He was saying, one of the pieces of advice that he was giving was, a lot of artists want to make an art book, looking at you, Shant. But those art books are geared, the only people buying them are artists. If you want your idea, your story, whatever, to reach a broader audience, you need to tell a story, whether that story is a card game or a comic book or a short or an animated series or webcomic, whatever. So I was like, I hear what you're saying, and I think I need to make another comic book. So long story short, pitched the idea to Zeb. He said yes, and now we have Battle Brick Road. So it was sort of birthed out of this idea of wanting to do a concept art portfolio piece, and we really just ran with it. As once we decided to do a comic book, we just ran with the idea and said, let's just do that then. So
it's wild that you say that, because when if I hadn't have done those 2 art books, which were completely inspired by Comicsgate, and I said as much to Ethan, I sent him a message and I said, if it wasn't for, and he was in a really tough place. Like when I sent him my first message, it was because I was seeing a guy just being, just pilloried and just brought down to his lowest. I mean, really, it was rough. I know you remember, but it was rough. And the thing that was interesting to me about it was that I wrote him this letter, and I remember that he talked about me on this video. I wish it was still up because I would love to clip it so people could really see this first kind of moment in CG. But I said to him in the email, I go, and I actually said this later, that I created my art books and went down this particular road that I'm on because of him. And then in looking over those art books, I said, I love all of these particular elements. There's a seed for a story in here. I think that's really sometimes how it happens. And may I share the screen now, or is it?
Yes, you may.
Okay,
So this goes back to the car wrap guy. Okay, here's something interesting. This artwork. So I'm looking at Brandon Spicer's in the chat. He wants to do a Battle Road car wrap, and I'm like, well, of course, we have to make that happen. I'm looking at the website to see what you guys do. This artwork was designed, and I saw the original files myself. This is James Dean Anderson, who's done many logos in CG, including the one I'm wearing on my shirt and you're wearing on your hat there, Shant.
There it is.
So how weird is that?
That's trip, dude. Small
world. So I don't know if I know that he just did the client for this, so they must have gone there to get it printed. That's pretty crazy.
Dude, I am telling you right now, I remember when I was watching Joseph Campbell and The Power of the Myth back in the day, and he says, do you ever feel like when you're on the right track, you feel like you're being helped by hidden hands? And Joseph Campbell's like, absolutely. And I remember thinking, well, I wonder what that feels like, because I always sort of am on this track, but it feels like it's the right track, but that doesn't seem to be happening. Let me tell you guys something in the chat. I'm not saying, this was the sole reason for my decision making, but I was definitely not experiencing it because I wasn't on the right track. So we get to things like, I come into Comicsgate when I was 17 years old, which was 30 years ago. I did my first pro job, and Andy Smith did the cover on that book. I grew up in this neighborhood, a neighborhood in the United States of America, which is a pretty large place. And the happiest time in my childhood was essentially a couple of years where I lived in this little neighborhood called Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan. And Dan Lawless was living there at the same time and delivering newspapers to my house. And I was doing a live stream, and he said, I said, I lived outside of Detroit. He goes, where outside of Detroit? And I'm like going, like outside of Detroit's a large area. But I go, oh, Grosse Pointe Woods. He goes, what address? I'm like, where? Wait a second. I'm like, I don't live there now, but I was like 2228 Hampton Road. Again, my memory. But this is the thing. And he goes, I delivered newspapers to your house during that time. Now, you got to understand how bonkers that is, right? And so the groomsman, who has been a friend of mine and was a groomsman at my wedding, we met freshman year of school because his family moved around a lot, and they moved to Chattanooga, Tennessee, in my area, like within maybe half a mile of my house. And I was in the newspaper, and his mom sent him the newspaper and said, you should try to find this guy at your college who's from the town we just moved to. And he saw me coming up from the post office with my address on it. I probably looked like, something the cat dragged in. And he said, are you the comic book guy from Chattanooga? And I'm like, what, are you, a cop? Like, it was probably, that was the reaction. But it was, he looked at that is how we became friends. And I could think of so many unlikely scenarios, and you are so right, Brandon Spicer. And how Eric and I have met is very much the same thing. We will soon forget how we met, and we won't be able to imagine that we haven't known each other forever. That's how Comicsgate seems to be so often. It's very wild. Very wild.
Yeah. I mean, James, we both found CG independently of each other, and then met. Even Zeb, meeting Zeb was, I've told this story before, but I didn't know who he was. I get hired to letter this book. I only ever contacted the artist, lettered the book, didn't really pay attention to anything. Then I go, I started going to this church. It was a church plant. We were first time, like, we're there from day one. James is there. He teaches me the soundboard, right? And then we were both like, "Have you heard of this Comicsgate thing?" And then, so I start like, I'm gonna make a comic book, and I had just lettered this book, and I go to our men's night at our church, and very few people there, right? It's like our first or second one, and my pastor goes, "Hey, have you met Zeb? He's a writer. I think he's a comic book writer." And so he introduced me to this guy named Zeb, and I go, "What do you write?" And he said, "Frank and I." I go, "I just lettered that book like 2 weeks ago." And he goes, "You're Eric Weathers, right? I have your business card from like Comic-Con like 2 or 3 years ago, because I did little Flying Fortress business cards."
It's
How about now?
uncanny. It is uncanny. And yes, Michael Deach, ever get the feeling that things are playing out the way they were meant to happen in a way you never could have foreseen, which you may not know this, but that's a conversation Eric and I had earlier today, which is, I always, when I fire up one of these streams, no doubt, Timmy Mello, no doubt.
Yeah.
When I fire up
Covered
these streams,
overall.
did we just become best friends? Yes, we did. Michael, this is the craziest thing about it, right? My favorite thing ever from Mel was when Michael was doing, I forget what he was doing. He was going, I forget what the thing even was, but he had a list of artists or something that I forget. See, this is how funny it was. I don't remember what it was. And he goes, "I'm sorry, Sean's just not on." Oh, it was a CG Vacation book. What were his favorite pieces? And he goes, "Sorry, Sean's just not on the list. He's an honorable mention." And Mel wrote, "He's not going to love you anymore." And I just started crying. And I showed it to my wife, and she was dying. She goes, "You guys don't know how to quit each other." She was cracking up, man. But it's like Michael and I, it was the funniest thing. I was watching his show, and I like this guy's artwork. So then I went to Instagram to see if he was on there, and I found him, and I clicked on it, and it said, "Follow Michael Bancroft back." And I went, "Wait, he's been following me this time?" And I didn't know.
This whole time.
Exactly right. So I sent him some photos, and then he blocked me for a while.
Because they weren't revealing enough.
Yeah, exactly. He was kind of like, "Do better." And I said, "I'm sorry." And he said, "Don't be sorry. Do better." And I was like, "Oh man, it's tough." And by the way, speaking of cool things we're doing, this is the Iron Age, folks. Welcome, as it says on here, welcome to the Iron Age. And that's why we're making this stuff, and that's why I've got this. When I got my Battle Brick Road, my 2 copies of Battle Brick Road 1, I got 2 of these patches, and I said, "Oh my God, I bet these would fit great on a hat." Why? For the same reason. Yeah, too much nipples, says Michael on those photos. And it was like, why am I excited about this? Because I, much like being a channel member, and thank you guys who are channel members on my channel, and thank all of you guys for being channel members on Eric's channel tonight. That is fantastic.
Yes, thank you.
But I saw this, and I thought, I want to show my enthusiasm for it. And what was cool, and please pass my compliments on to the designer you were mentioning. I get more comments on this. People were asking me if this was a band. They were asking me if this was a tour, like a music tour. Like, they were just like, "That's so cool. I want that. What is it?" They think it's like a fashion label. It's crazy, man. People love it. Well, I do. So
James is a great brand designer. That's like his bread and butter, is making brand redesigns for companies and stuff. So happy to have him do a design for the. I mean, it was a no-brainer. So
yeah.
And he's done designs for people here in CG, he's done logos for people here in CG, not just myself. So yeah. I have an email from a customer asking if we plan to launch in Brazil. So I got to go into Shopify and remember how to add territories to shipping, and make sure Brazil is there. And if not, I need to add them.
We have some people of Brazil who are concerned, Eric. They're concerned that Oz doesn't reach them. And I tell you, people of Brazil, hear my words now. It shall. Eric Weathers leaves no Brazilian behind. That sounded way worse than I really could have imagined when that came out of my mouth.
Well,
Eric Weathers loves the people of Brazil, is what I'm trying to say.
okay.
You know, guys, it gets late and things
Yeah,
happen.
it's not there. It's not there. I got to find it.
They're not giving
Gotta
it to you
remember
as an
how to-
option? Oh my gosh.
It's there as an option, but I have to figure out in the bowels of Shopify how to add territories.
Yeah,
It's
it shall
always
be done.
buried.
Don't you worry. He will get it done, but it may involve more sleep than any of us have at this moment. Yes, that's right. Michael Deach says hashtag justice for Brazil.
I get
That's
it. I'm
right.
trying to bring justice. I really am.
I know, exactly. That's right, man. Brazil, a beautiful people. We love you, Brazil. Don't let this reflect negatively on your sense of us. And we love the people and the Portuguese speaking nations of this world. That is the way it is. You just type it in and add it, is what Michael
Yeah, I
is
know,
saying.
but where to type it in? That's where I always have trouble finding. I think there's the add market button. Here we go.
Michael's, I feel like that was kind of an aggressive. I mean, I read it aggressively, but I feel like it is. You just type it in and add it. There was a tone in the way I read that, and I'm going to attribute that to Michael. So, you know, people of Brazil, fear me. I mean, hear me. No, that's how I read Super Chat. You didn't even have to put that. I would have read fear me instead of hear me, because that's just where my reading comp is. Find a printer in Brazil and sell them for you. Is that a thing? Cheaper shipping sounds like a thing that should exist. Yeah, there is definitely a lot of people are jumping on that Brandon Spice. And Brandon, it's wonderful to make your acquaintance, by the way. I love getting to meet all of you guys, you know, who work with Eric, whether it's over at the Rippaverse or it's folks he's lettered books for, or if it's people that he grew up with making art, as we say in New England, but making art and drawing dinosaurs. That's what it's about.
Mhm.
That's what it's all about.
Drawing
Man.
dinosaurs.
Yeah, man. And doing car wraps, which is so cool. I mean, that's to me, someone asked me about that because they saw me doing some hand lettering and some really detailed stuff, kind of like what I was doing here. And I've had people ask me if I've ever had a desire to or done tattoos, or if I've ever done automotive, like hand painted, you know, pinstriping on cars. And I go, it stresses me out the thought of making a mistake in both of those instances. I'm just like, like it's just nightmare fuel to me. It's like, don't do it. But bless you guys who do that.
Completely agree.
Yep.
I got to make sure. Yeah, like even when I'm doing lettering or design or anything or any kind of artwork, I still have that. I mean, it's more editable on this Fizzy permanent, you know, thing like that. But you know, you put out books, you letter books, you're like, hopefully everything got caught, you know, in the
Oh boy, that's a big factor when people were asking me about, you know, Nosfero and doing books like this. I go, first of all, believe me, you can fix things and you can correct things in paint, because I did. And I could show you that book at various stages. And there are pages where the colors changed, where faces have been reworked, where all sorts of stuff like that. But the biggest thing is we work so hard on the continuity. You know, you're not going to catch everything because it's a first appearance of a character. It's not like Spider-Man, where you know what he's supposed to look exactly like, and he's been drawn, you know, hundreds and hundreds of times. Or that you started drawing him as a kid. Like I started drawing Nosfero and creating Nosfero now at this age. So this is as long as I've known him, is working on this book. So book 2, I'm really looking forward to having those originals around just so I could look at them to see what I was doing with certain line density things and things like that. But the book itself, when it's not a proof where the pages fall out, is going to be great because I can flip through it too to get ready for, you know, when I'm working on book 2. That's the coolest part.
Yeah, that is cool. And 40% Z is right. It is cheaper just to ship. Those kind of things.
Yeah. And Michael Deach is saying motorcycle gas tank art. Don't snub the bikers. Yeah, one of my favorite artists, and I don't know if we'll get copyright struck for this or whatever, but I kind of want to see if I can pull it up, maybe without audio. I don't think we'll get into too much trouble, but let me see if I can do this. These are things that Shanth has often said in life. Guys, I'm pretty sure it'll hold our weight. You know, that's how a lot of friendships sadly have ended. But let me see here. This is one of my absolute favorite artists. and I love his stuff. I know Eric has seen it, but it's I've got to share this with you because if you've never seen it before, I have more artists who are hand letterers that I'm a fan of than I care to admit. And this gentleman is a pinstriper. This is the work that he does.
I think I've seen
And
this.
you've seen it. It made the rounds big time. But this is Glenn Weisgerber, and this is him showing how to do round hand lettering. And if you want to see just the majesty of hand control in doing this, this just is hauntingly good
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, it's all about the paint viscosity and how he's putting it together, man. It's like to get the paint consistency right, which he talks about, is 80% of the, if the consistency isn't right, that doesn't work. And so he can mix that consistency like it's going out of style. Like he just no look mixing. And then look at that. He's got the maul stick he's resting his hand on. And then he's just so he doesn't have to, lean up against the stuff, obviously. But look at how delicious that is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
100%. Electric guitar is another one. Pamelina H is the name of the artist who does the electric guitar artwork there. That's great, Michael. I love it. I look at this stuff all day. This is the stuff I'm
Beautiful.
Amazed by. Isn't it incredible?
Yeah.
I don't know how he does that, but I mean, you know what I think? I've heard this. I don't know if it's true, but the way he's able to do that, and one of the reasons he's able to do that is, if I'm not mistaken, it's because of this hat.
Yes, indeed.
Everybody
I
says
can
it.
see the power. Yeah.
That's what I always say. It's all about the viscosity, babe. Mel, we love you. We know. Look, you and Lauren can meet sometime in the future and just have a big talk about the insanity. We can have a support group for all of the creator wives, I think.
Now this
That's what we need.
is a regular brush. I can see that, but it also just looks like a rubber,
yes,
tip.
Yep.
It's highly
and
viscous.
This is you want to find something. You want to see the most terrifying part of this. I'd show this to students, and they were just screaming no. He's like, I'm going to palette this a little bit thinner now, and he spends a little bit of time paletting it up. And I showed this to students, and I go, this is where the decades of practice comes in. And they just were screaming at the screen. They were like, no.
Yeah, I've seen. I don't know if it was him or not, but I saw it probably was. I mean, it all looks the same. But I saw one of him doing like this mirrored stencil, thing. And he did it on one side and flipped it and did it on the other, and it was like perfect. It was perfectly
Yeah, these
mirrored.
people are when someone like I always say this when people look at this stuff and they go, "Gosh, how much does that cost?" I go, "However much it costs, it's not enough."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that dude. What is there one of him left on this planet, or 10, or 15, or 20?
Yeah.
How many of him are left? And when I'm doing, I said this the other day to somebody, and I've talked about this in the comments, but there aren't a lot of us doing fully painted comics. There aren't a lot of us doing independent, self-published comics and creating actual narrative stories and characters. Putting this stuff together. That's what I think the message was when, the concept artist was telling you that if you really want to do this, you've got to tell a story. You've got to do something with it. And that is, think how that advice has led to the smash hit 6-figure Battle Brick Road campaign. And now we are going to be well on our way. We're just getting started, as we say in New England, with Battle Brick Road. That's what it's about,
We are just
man.
getting started. Yep.
It's a beautiful thing. And again, same thing with membership, same thing with lettering videos. You guys have put a ton of fuel in the tank of Eric for that stuff, because that's how it works, man. Yep, 25 exactly. That's right.
Something else I actually want to point out that I don't think I say this enough about the campaign is we have lowered our shipping costs. It's not $10 for shipping; it's $8.
There it is.
For domestic shipping, that is. We have actually some really good shipping we're using
Deals.
ground cubic shipping, I think it's
Yep.
called.
Mhm.
And so basically anything, as long as it's under a certain size and under 20 pounds, the shipping is based off zone and not anything else. It does not weight,
Mhm.
again, unless it's over 20 pounds. I don't think I'm shipping anybody anything that's 20 pounds. So
Yeah.
$8 shipping across the board, you know.
That's great, man.
For of course, domestic, I'm speaking. And then we
Yeah.
also have some, I think, fairly good shipping, as good as we can get it, also for international. I believe 15 for, I think it's 16 for Canada, which I know it's still a lot, but it's the lowest that we could get it. And then 20 for international,
Mhm.
including Australia. No $60 or $40 shipping to anywhere else. It shouldn't be like that. So I think that's good. Also, with the Shopify Shop Pay, you're able to. Did I have a thumbs up on my head just a second ago?
I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe.
I saw a thumbs up like right here.
Do you have something clicked on your streaming thing or something? Or
No,
I don't know.
that was weird. I forgot what I was going to say.
That guy has the IRL smoothing setting turned all the way up. As he's saying about the letterer, that's what it is. Dang, near convinced CG animation is just a matter of time. That's absolutely true. Yeah, and I think so. One of the cats who is who actually did a piece that's in Vaughn's book, Terror of the Trenches, who's also a Waffle Lodger. You're going to be seeing him around. He is he's an animator, and I really do think, and also an amazing illustrator and comic book artist. I think when AI gets to the point, because AI, as I was saying earlier, AI will never be able to pick lottery tickets because there's too many variables, and AI will never be able. Will have at the very least, if it matches humans' ability for creativity, that's going to be a 1 in a billion shot there.
Mhm.
It's going to have the same chance as everybody else has because you're dealing with people in the physical world. But it's going to be great for people who have ideas and want to do things like animation. So it's going to be great for in-betweening. I was just watching a video on a new bit of software and it's getting scarier and scarier, that can take home videos recorded on VHS tapes and up-res them to look like they're 1080p.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
It's
like an ad.
incredible.
It's really
That's
cool,
where
yeah.
AI is going to be singing, is and hopefully, film preservation and things like that, are going to be easier for some of these films. Yeah, Michael wants to know, just would love to hear about what happens in Battle Brick Road 2.
That's a great question, Mike. I'm glad you asked it. Battle Brick Road 2, we pick up where we left off. Dorothy is just recently has found her an ally in this very hostile world of Oz. Somebody there to rescue her when she was almost certainly dead. And now they're going down the Battle Brick Road, the Yellow Brick Road together to get Dorothy to find her dad. That's ultimately her main goal, her driving force, keeping her, propelling her, is to figure out what happened to her dad. And now she's closer than she's ever been in 20 years of him missing. We're going to see them finally. We're going to be seeing the Tin Man. We're going to be seeing the Lion in their various forms. There's going to be a lot of action. I mean, the first book alone, the first chapter of the book alone is how you say action packed, and the second one, which I've thumbnailed out, but I haven't started any of the official line art yet, is I think even more than the first. There's a lot that happens in these books. You're going to see some characters that that you're familiar with in terms of the movies, and you're going to see some stuff that's like, well, what is this? New biomes to discover, new creatures and new characters, without telling you the actual plot. I hope that is enough. There is actually this really cool scene where the gang, they're following the Yellow Brick Road, and it leads them to the Great Menagerie of Oz, the zoo, and there's a whole lot stuff going on in that zoo
Yeah.
that has been abandoned for however long this war's been going on. So I'm really looking forward to that whole sequence that we're going to be doing in that. A lot of fun creature design to do. And yeah, it's going to be so cool. So Oz, like in the first book, there's that, like the opening page, you have these outlanders, I think is what we call them, these people that are just like living just in the crevices of the cities that are below the desert, just trying to scrape out a living. And in the back of the book, that 6 a.m. comics story, there's those are why I forget what they're called now, but these sort of cannibalistic tribes that do the same thing, right? But they're more Mad Max. We're pushing that concept of these like pockets of cities or towns or communities or what have you, and they're all unique in their own way. And we're going to see what a version of like a animal poaching and animal selling kind of, and what that looks like. And the, you know, the animals in Oz aren't like the animals on Earth. Some of them are hybrids of human. They're chimeric creatures. And so being able to play in that, and that also ties into the Lion's story arc as well. We're setting up a whole lot more. I don't just want to be all set up, because we've got great story arcs for all of these characters too. It's a wonderful place to be. In
Cranberry Langer says, "Is this a dystopia?"
Well, yeah, actually. So in the overworld of the Wizard of Oz, the America that you know, like, never left the Dust Bowl. It completely destroyed. Thank you very much.
So we're gonna have to refresh that then.
No, not yet. You gotta wait.
Not yet.
Finish my story.
Yeah, no, I gotta wait. Yeah.
So the overworld, right, of Oz, America never left the dust storm. So this genius, this Einstein, this Elon Musk style character, he creates this seed. He creates this technology that is able to make life grow in the desert. And in that, with that technology, he creates this utopia, much like BioShock, much like Rapture in BioShock, that idea where the great minds can go and create, right? So he creates this thing. There's almost like this lottery of people that can pick to, like, you know, it's death out there in the great American desert. And these people are able to earn their, or even through lottery, earn their place in this new land. And when Oz is created, he gives control over to these 4 AI constructs. They're sister AIs. They're all connected. They're all created to each control a sector of Oz. And 2 of them are very nice. Some say they might be the nicest. And 2 of them not so nice. And because of that, war breaks out. And that whole utopia that was created is completely destroyed. East and west, obviously not good. North and south. South is sort of north sort of was like Switzerland. She's like, we're not doing anything. We're staying out of everything. So the war is sort of in the lower half. But that's where this world falls apart. And this is the world that Thea falls into. And it's new to her, but there's a whole history that she's learning about when she gets there, right? Everything is I feel like we're doing that well and telling that story of, like, you know, that I want that world to feel like it already exists. Like she's dropped into today, and it's got decades of history. So
let me tell you something.
So nice. If I could, you know what I really want to do is, like, figure out how to do Trump's voice, and just, I want to be able to do that. I need to, like, look at YouTube videos or something.
Look, Right, and we've got to once this campaign is ready to be refreshed, you let me know. But if you haven't heard Razor Fist's Trump, it is strong. I was shocked at how well he did that voice. I was like, "Is that still him talking?" And it's crazy, man. It was nuts, absolutely nuts. So let me
You can
know.
refresh now.
Okay, so let me. Boy, I am really zoomed in, aren't I? Let me move over here. Okay, so we're here. And let's take a look, shall we, folks? Boom. 520 backers, it says.
Thank you so
Two
much.
new backers. Beautiful,
Thank
guys. Beautiful. You guys are doing it, man. You guys are doing
Yes,
it.
you are.
And this is so great, man. I'm telling you this too.
We got a
What
big
you
backer.
just threw down there. Yes, a very big backer.
Yes.
A very big backer. God bless you, Mike. God bless you, backers. We love you. That is something I'm going to do something with. Your description of the story right there is a trailer I'm going to have to cut or do something with because
Yeah.
I'm serious because
Yeah.
that is like it's a very, you know how sometimes like late at night we'll be talking about this stuff and we'll get our pitch down perfect when we're not trying to.
Mm-hmm.
That was a darn good explanation because I've heard you explain it before a bunch, but that was great to have it on a clip I have access to. So that's kind
Thanks.
of nice.
It's hard to pitch. It's always been difficult to pitch. So the reason I say that is because Flying Fortress was easy to pitch. I had it down into like 2 sentences, right? A B-17 crew goes on a top secret mission to bomb Hitler's base. They get shot down in enemy territory and crash land in the Middle Ages.
Yep.
I want to be able to do that, but it's like, well, it's Wizard of Oz with guns, and there's these AI, so I don't have that rhythm. I don't have like I had that's locked in there. That Flying Fortress is just in there forever.
Dude,
this one, I want to be able to say it in 2 sentences.
Yeah,
or even
man.
1.
I mean,
but
I got to tell you, dude, that what the heck is going on with this interwebs? It's getting a little janky here. Oh, I probably
They're
have
a
too
little
many
blurry.
windows open. Yeah, I have a few too many windows open, probably. Hang on. Or it could just be the poor little man running around in this machine here. So let me see. Yeah, it could be the trucks. 100%. That is what it is. There we go. It's starting to get a little. It's struggling. But yeah, now we're back. But this is the thing I want to say about this too. Michael Deitch is saying correctly. Ripa had a video today about his vision for a video game. Once turned loose, creativity runs wild. Who knows? Maybe I'll make another less embarrassing horror film. Feeling inspired tonight. Let me tell you something, Michael.
That's great to hear.
I don't know when you made your last horror movie, but the technology now has gotten so ridiculous that I like to think that the skills that we had even a couple years ago. Here's the best way I could describe it. When did Comicsgate? Because we were talking about this before the show. Is it 7 years ago with Comicsgate or 6?
6.
6 years ago.
Yep.
That, as crazy as it sounds, that was this weird nexus of folks in CG waking up to the possibilities of YouTube, the possibilities of crowdfunding, the possibilities of, because we were going straight to the audience, or they were going straight to the audience, and saying, wait a second, we have this audience who wants good comic books. What if we made them? Like, this is really possible. Now, you were there, you know the full details of we're going to get it in stores, and then the deal with, was it Antarctic Press? Was that originally?
Yeah.
Yep. Then falling through. Thank you, a certain person. I'm not going to wade into those waters, but the thing is that you had, yeah, that's right. And then going to Kickstarter and then having wonderful people there hug people away. And then finally ending up on Indiegogo. And all of this stuff has happened. That was 6 years ago. YouTube wasn't able to stream or have videos in HD for a while. Now they can be in 4K. You just keep looking at this over and over and over again. And the possibilities are endless, Michael Deitch. And the group of creators around you who you can bounce ideas off of, there's more. We've made something here that is spectacular. And I really do. I'd encourage you to do it. I encourage you, Michael Deach, to the fullest extent of the law. That's what I have.
Yeah, and just have AI do it. You don't need
That's
actors.
right. Make horror
Prompt it.
film. That's
Yeah.
right.
Make
That's
horror
right.
film.exe.
Yep.
And you're good
Cranberry
to go.
Langers agrees. It was a very good pitch, Eric.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Yes, indeed. Boom, boom.
But
Pitch right there.
I want my pitch to be snappy and quick, you know, like
Word.
so. It's hard.
Yep.
It's hard to do that with this one.
Yep. In 2005, my pitch line for the sequel would be, ignore the title of the first one. It's not an adult film. There you go. Dude. Beautiful. I love it. Yeah, Michael, this is the thing, right? We're planting seeds for all of these various things, and we're going to see where they go and how this stuff grows. And, you know, if you like, we're talking about, we go back 6 years, and I got to grab these because, you know what? I got to grab these.
Okay, grab them.
I'm going to grab them.
Share stream.
We go back.
Make sure you
6 years.
back Battle Brick Road.
Amen.
It'll put hair on your chest. If you're a man,
It'll put hair on your chest.
take hair off your
and
chest
other
if you're a
people's
woman.
chests. Let me go here. I'm gonna see here. I'm gonna remove this just for a second, just for a skosh, and we're gonna talk about these things right here that would have seemed absolutely impossible in so many ways 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I have so many of these. My son has one in his room. I have an unopened one because I didn't even realize how many of these different things I backed.
I got
the
more than I
Cyberfrog
think I
piece.
needed to. Like I think I was.
Yes, I think he may
extra.
have overshipped them. I'm convinced. I'm sure that at some point someone looked at the books and was like, Ethan, I think that the boys were shipping out way more than they were supposed to.
Yeah.
I,
I've
of
got-
course, haven't notified Ethan yet.
I've
but
got
that's
3 of
not-
those,
Mhm.
and I think I was only meant to have 1. I got 2 salamandroids.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
they're
Yep.
behind me.
And I keep it right here with all of the stuff that inspires me and all of the stuff that, like the Cyberfrog trading card I did is there. Of course, the Mrs. and me when we were young. I actually ate the guy in that photo. A lot of people don't know that. And I look at these action figures, but then here was the thing that got me. Every now and again, somebody comes along with something that I go, I didn't even think about us doing that. And for me, the vinyl record is the one that I saw that I went, this is the coolest thing. I love this to death. It's so good, man. Yep.
It's
struggle
worth
with the
buying
one
a
set.
record player
Yeah.
for.
It is. I bought a record. You know this. I sent you the pictures.
I know.
I go,
I know.
it's time. Yeah, I'm ride or die, folks. That's how I go. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Whether
know?
you want him there or not.
That's right. I remember when I showed up at your wedding. That's how we met. You were like, "Who the hell are you?" And I go, "I don't know, but I'm a big fan of you." You know, and it
When I
was
lifted up the
scary.
veil. What are you talking about?
Yeah, in us, that'd be terrifying. In us, no one can hear you scream. I love that, man.
Sounds
Yeah, man.
familiar.
Yeah, those are the taglines. I struggle with the one sentence pitch too. The secret to unimaginable power is hidden in our dreams. Wow.
Yeah, see
Right.
that wouldn't hook me personally. Hearing that, because it's like, eh. But when you read the book and you know the story, it's like, well, it's way more than that. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Unlocking
It's
the
tough.
power of dreams is the key. Boom. You know, just you gotta find that whatever it is.
You gotta find it,
know?
whatever it is. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. It's amazing, right? It's I like it at Michael Deach. I'm completely certain it's not trademarked. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you know what I find is it's easier to pitch other people's books than our own sometimes. I'm just
Sometimes,
like,
yeah.
Yeah,
Which
it's
is why I like
crazy.
it when
I mean,
you
unless
pick
it's
mine,
yeah.
because
Mhm.
you've got this you have a gift that I have to exercise it. That whole talking to people thing. You're good at
I
that.
thought I thought I expressed myself very well earlier in our conversation today. I run
Yeah.
screaming from people are like, someone said to me one time, they're like, "Hey man, do you want to come hang out?" I was like, "Oh, are there gonna be people there?" I'm gonna take a pass. It's crazy, man. Maybe some stories just aren't meant to have pithy pitches. Well, here's the interesting thing, right?
Maybe.
Somebody, like, again, we have some stories have a lot of context behind them now. So, you know, you could say like Lord of the Rings, one ring to rule them all, right? But honestly, that's not going to, you can give anything a one, line thing, but it's like Dune. What the hell do you do with Dune?
Yeah.
It's Dune. It's crazy.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. In your dreams, no one can hear you scream. Michael Deitch is getting it done.
That's actually
What's
true. In your nightmares, no one can hear you scream. That's how I grew up. Was I had this entity that would pull me under the bed, and I would try to scream. No words, no sound would come out. That was a terrifying childhood.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
That's the fuel. And then he was an artist. That's just kind of how it goes.
With
man.
the palettes of black and blue.
That's right, man. You've passed through the gate of no gate to fulfill the prophecy of mortals. Dang, you guys. A long time ago in a dream far, far away, says Michael
That might do
Bancroft.
better than the other one. Yeah.
It might, yeah. I got a feeling you got something there. It's gold. He who controls the spice controls the universe 100%. In your dreams? Question mark.
Yes, those were dreams I had when I was a kid.
Yep. At Simply Green, so I should stock up on oregano. 100%. 100%. It's all about the nutmeg, though. Don't let them fool you. Yeah. Or is it this waking nightmare or some such? Yeah, there you go.
I guess you could have called it that, because I would wake up and then run into my parents' room like, hey, why can't you hear me?
Yep.
So it was wild.
I mean, but this is the crazy thing, right? We try to make tangible in these stories stuff that's completely intangible. Like the thing that makes your book so fascinating is that The Wizard of Oz is a very particular type of narrative, like the original story, that is very different than what you're doing. It's the story of the young hero. She goes on this adventure into this fantasy world that is not so real, so to speak, in a sense, because it matures her as a person, so that when she returns back to her real world, she's better prepared for it. In this story, you're making the intangible tangible. So you're really using it. It's a jumping off point. But when you get to the AI and you get to these artificial intelligence and you get into this other realm, man. Like it's so its own thing, man. It's craziness.
It really is. Yeah. It's one of those, like, it's so much its own thing that we could have not made it Wizard of Oz. But I need it. I had to.
You got to, man. That's
because I live in Kansas.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got
someday.
That is amazing.
Someday I will move out of Kansas and I will finally be able to say we're not in Kansas anymore.
That's right. But it's like when you wake up, the nightmare is only beginning. There it is. Look at that. We're getting some really good taglines in here.
We're narrowing it down.
Those sleep paralysis demons, man. Hey, let me tell you something. I had never heard of sleep paralysis before The Haunting of Hill House, which is one of my all-time favorite scary haunted house. To me, it's up there. It's one of the best of all time. I think that show was a masterpiece, that series. And when I saw the sleep paralysis stuff, I was like, I could have lived my whole life not knowing that was a thing. That was terrifying.
I didn't see an entity, but I had a dream where I woke up, but my body didn't. And I couldn't, I was paralyzed. I had one of those, I would say probably about 10 years ago. I was in my 20s, took a nap on the couch and woke up. And I was like completely frozen. I was locked inside my body. I was just like, and then eventually snapped out of it. That was weird. But no, a lot of people with sleep paralysis say they see this figure, this man in the hat or whatever it is. Luckily, I didn't see that.
Antoine Dennison says, Eric, maybe you can incorporate dreams into it. And he meant Thea's narrative. Dreams are reality coalescing. Dreams and reality coalescing play a big role in the source material. Wow, yeah, that's powerful. Geez, Antoine, I nicknamed him the professor, channel member Antoine Dennison. And Antoine, By the way, this is not for any of you guys who are here. This is not a push. We thank you for supporting Battle Brick Road. We're at 520. I love a nice round number. I don't mind if we break it up though. On Battle Brick Road, we are so close to 30K. But I do want to make sure I say this: is that at our behest, the chat's behest, Eric Weathers has opened up channel memberships on his YouTube channel. So if you have ever wanted to support him on his YouTube channel with a membership, by all means, guys, go for it, because I am so excited. I am Michael Deach, who is a gentleman and a scholar, as Christopher Walken would say, beat me to the punch, and he got the membership first. So I am member number 2. I am a second-class member. That sounds terrible. I am. I wasn't able to do it.
The caste system to my membership.
Right, 100%, man.
Yeah.
But this is the link to his channel for any of you guys there, because he is actually going to be doing some more of his lettering videos. We were talking today about how both of us are excited about just keep pushing this YouTube thing and seeing what we can do with it, creative-wise, and making some evergreen content. A confused sleepy girl in her underwear.
I want to back up a little bit and actually answer Antoine's question.
Yes.
By asking him a question.
Uh-huh.
Did you read Battle Brick Road 2 already before anybody else? That's all I'm going to say. Have you read it? How did you get that information?
I've said this for years. Years, Antoine Dennison.
For years.
Yeah, for years. Till this day. Antoine is one of those guys, man, who's got it. He's got that thing. Channel member, gentleman, scholar. There's the link to Eric's YouTube channel that now offers memberships. So get your memberships in there.
Definitely the further we go down the membership rabbit hole, we'll be making some cool stuff.
Heck yeah. I really enjoy the book Don't Tell the Other Eric, but I like it better than ISOM. Man, it's getting... Listen, Eric on Eric violence is one of the biggest crises that we're currently facing in this country. And Brandon Spicer, if you weren't a dear friend and an outstanding, dare we say, engrosser, so to speak, of automobiles, I would have taken great offense. But instead, I tip my cap to you and say, God bless you, sir. Second cast member. That's I'd make an Untouchables joke, but that might be a bit too far. I'm glad Simply Green you keeping it on lock.
We're all friends here.
Yes, we are. Michael Deach, check my Twitter. I just put up a call out for bad Lucent pitches. You should add that. That is beautiful. And Sean still won't accept my Facebook. What? I'm never on Facebook, but I was unaware there was a Facebook request. You will never hear from me on there because I'm never on it. But now I'm fascinated by this.
Interesting.
Fascinated. It's like, how do I make this a reality for you? See what I can do. That's very odd because I'm actually never on there. So now I have to find this because it seems wrong. There we go. Let's see. That's taken care of, Antoine. It's over. Our long national nightmare has ended. You are my friend on Facebook, as in life. Oh, I'm off Twitter until I step away from current job. Understood, Michael Deach. Yep, I know that one. Let's see here. So Antoine Dennison included in the book's credits, I take it. There you go. Let me see here. Sean still hasn't accepted my MySpace request, says Cranberry Langers. Oh, Brandon Spicer, I am from Kansas too, so there may be some bias. Understood. Understood and respected. Or my Yahoo Answers request. I'm sorry, Cranberry Langers.
Hey, no. Yahoo Answers is how we got 12 Rules for Life.
That's right.
So don't be dissing them Yahoo Answers. Also, how is Babby formed? Do you guys remember that meme? Huh?
Oh
hey,
gosh.
Kids. How is Babby formed?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Babbies, we have this this side street we take out of my neighborhood to get onto the main intersection. And for like 4 months now, there's been this white trash can that's being used as a sign. Somebody is selling baby cactuses for $4, but they spelled baby Babbie. Yeah.
These are
I don't know
dark
if that's
times,
like
Eric Weathers.
drug code or
Yeah, you don't know. That's actually scary. You go there and go, I'd love a cactus. And they're like, how do you mean cactus? And you're like, I've just stumbled into some kind of narco situation. It's over.
Cactus
the black bag
baddies.
gets put over your head. And that's,
yeah.
well, I still think the best Kansas moment ever was when you're in Kansas and you're taking a selfie and there's a giant tornado behind you. I was like, this is ridiculous, dude. Yes, indeed. White trash can or redneck bin.
A bit of column A, a bit of column B.
Yeah, I think that's. I think I can put one leg in each one of those, man. That's the way it's got to be. I looked for the latest news at the back of my comic mags. That's right, man. It's crazy to think of that, like how immediate you can move things. I mean, I believe it was a Kickstarter crowdfunder that launched that Death May Die miniature game that created all of these. Let me see if I can show this here effectively, but created all of these
channel. You can do whatever you want.
Little minis, you know what I mean, of Lovecraft creatures. And I think Dan Plagle was telling me that he's been painting them while he's been been getting the chemo. He's been just like, keeping on top of things by detailing these things. But it's a tabletop game, and I don't know how to play those because, my God, you have to be smart to do those. But they're able to launch things and have, the funding behind them. So when they sell them, they don't have that pressure of getting out of the red. And so it works great for people coming up with these ideas, and being able to put things out there, man. I love it.
100%. Crowdfunding is a wonderful thing.
It is.
It's a double-edged sword, though. You got to be careful with it,
Yeah, you do. It will come and get you.
And don't take it for granted.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Never take it for granted. And the other aspect of it is too, it's a wild thing. Like, this is such a great time to be working. It's such a great time to be doing all of this stuff. And there's so many facets of it that I really do find myself coming back to the mail-in method is kind of like, whenever I'm trying to check in on what I'm doing and zoom out on it a little bit, I go, this is what the YouTube aspect of this is for. This is what the promotion aspect of it is for. And this is the strength of having a bunch of folks in your crew that are all promoting and all driven, is that you can kind of get together and get inspired and have these conversations and talk about, our books. And the more we talk about them and the more we put that stuff out there, you never know when you're explaining something. It's a big thing I learned in teaching. You never know when you're explaining something, what's going to be the way you phrase it that one day that's a little different, that it gets somebody hooked and makes them want to learn how to do it. I imagine it's
the same as being a parent and talking, telling your kids things, and then not knowing what actually is sticking until years later.
It's very true. And being there now, I will tell you, there's stuff that makes you kind of just as a parent go, oh, wow, that did work. That's really cool, and that's the fun part of it. That's why, when folks have younger kids, I always think, I always see that, and I always just, think, my God, it's amazing to look at the journey from here. And I know friends, obviously, you've got like their kids are in their 20s, and people who I know who have siblings and who are older and watch their kids grow up. But it's a very cool thing to see, and weird. It's the same. It's a little bit like art, but it's so far beyond making artwork. But they take on a life of their own, obviously, because they have a life of their own. But it's the things that you can't plan and that you can't do by design that happen just from that magical interaction of different people. And that's what we see here every single day. We see this in the chat. We see this in the great ideas or people telling a friend about a book. We see childhood friends of creators get to meet and become friends with other creators. I mean, it's just so cool. That's how we meet everybody. And I feel like our crazy web of creativity and passion and inspiration just keeps growing and growing and growing and reaching more people. And that's all we got to do is keep pushing, man.
Just keep swimming.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Oh my goodness, man. I love it.
This has been fun.
Dude, 100%. So what thoughts do we have, man?
What
do you
thoughts?
want to do? Yeah, where do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
I want to
What
finish
shall
my
we do?
book.
That's it.
Yeah. I've been drawing off and on during the stream, making some progress.
Excellent.
Kind of trying to get everything done. Hopefully tomorrow, like I'm looking at the page I'm working on now, I'll be able to finish half of it for sure. Just inking. And another page that I have is halfway done. So if I could put enough time in, I might be able to actually check 2 pages off tomorrow. For sure 1.
Dude.
But most likely 2. Unless I got plans that I don't know about yet. Which is entirely possible. That's kind of how my MO goes. So
yeah, we're going to be pushing this book like crazy because that 30K is right there. And so on my channel, and I know on your channel, we're just going to be pushing this like crazy. That's what our mission is, man. Yeah. Finishing up this and going on to the next 3 Battle Brick Road books. There you go. This is Cranberry Lane. Yeah. That's what's on the docket. Yeah, guys, thank you guys so much. I know it's probably getting late for you, Eric, and
it is.
And you've got early morning, so we're gonna wrap this stream up. Stick around though, because I wanna say hey after this for a little bit, if that's all right with you.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you guys. We are so close to 30K. We are at 29.6. Thank you to all of you who backed this campaign during this stream. And please share the link out to the campaign. Tell people about all the cool stuff, the records, the shirts, the books, book 1 and 2, the poster and print book, which is going to be fantastic. And take a look at what we have accomplished during this stream, guys. I am so proud of all of you guys. If you haven't become a member of Eric's channel and you so desire, do check it out. There's some great videos on there and some great lettering and stuff. So do check it out. Eric, what other thoughts you got?
Next weekend, October 28th and 29th, I'm going to be at a local convention here in town, Air Capital Comic Con. So if you're in the Wichita area, you want to stop by and say hey, stop by and say hey. We're going to be selling Battle Brick Road. Obviously, Battle Brick Road 1 books, prints, might do some sketches. I don't know. It's a whole drawing in public thing. Not my favorite thing. But yeah, we'll have some of the, some of the extras. We had patches and stickers and just have a good time. Just hang out. It's a local show. So it's easy for me to get out there and do it. It doesn't really cost me anything either. So except for my time. Yeah. So for all of you, Brandon, maybe I'll see you there. Air Capital Comic Con. Check it out.
Yeah, guys, if you have not, if you have never seen it before and you haven't been there, let me just make sure. I want to make sure I call this up because it's very cool, man. Let me see if I can make this happen. So here we go. This is the Air Capital Comic Con, and it is it's very cool. I just was looking at their website. Saturday 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. October 28th, 2023. And let me see here. Click on that. Enjoy 2 full days of comic book and pop culture awesomeness at this year's Air Capital Comic Con, set in a new location. There's the admissions. There's the tickets. Recurring daily, and those are the dates. Add to calendar. Wichita Sports Forum, and I think is that where it's at? The Wichita Sports Forum.
That's where it's at.
Beautiful. So yeah, if you are in the area, if that's a drive you want to take, if you're looking for something to do that weekend, guys, please go by and check it out. Thank you so much, Michael. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Already there, just a couple blocks from our shop. There you go. Good night, guys. Thank you so much. Yep. And as I always like to say, guys, at the end of my streams, speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith. And again, as always, peace, because that's what my name means. And here are the credits. Thank you, channel members, and God bless you guys.
Good morning, come on in. Coffee's good, fresh and hot. There's a waffle in the baker on the grill. We're making